Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. This is going to be our day two rewatch of the YNW Melly, the very first trial that he had. Many of you know that he is up for his second trial starting September the 10th. But good morning, everybody. I feel so good today. This is like my second day. Last night I went to bed at 2 instead of 3, so I'm making progress. But good morning. Hey, Erica. Good morning. Hey, Summer. Good morning, Tiffany. How are you? Oh, Tiffany, I'm going to have my P.O. box next week. I'll have my P.O. box next week. I already started the process. Good morning, Jasmine. Good morning, Mika. Well, at least found the post office. That's the process I started. Hey, Mika P. Hey, Vitra. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Shalant. Good morning, Alicia. Hey, Jamaica. Hey, Nikki. How are you? Hey, Danielle. How are you? Hey, Phoenix. Good morning, Destiny. Hey, Jenny. Good morning, Megan. Hey, Alice. Hey, Gibson girl. How are you? Hey, Siobhan. Hey, Sugar. Good morning, Brianna. Good morning, Lily. Hey, Erin. Did you make it back safely? I'm assuming you did. You on here. Good morning. Good morning, Garielle. Hey, Robin. Hey, Lo. Lo, you early today. Good morning. Good morning, Tasha. Hey, Becca. Sacco said, Mel, I got the video of Bradley's recusal. Moretti and her colleague testifying against them. A manager video compares Millie's split personalities to Beyonce. Now, how Beyonce get in is that? How did Beyonce get in this? Please send it to my Instagram, please. Good morning, Nick. Hey, Shonda. Hey, Just saying. Good morning, Great Vibes. Good morning, Denise. Hey, Shay. Good morning. Good morning, Crystal. Hey, Miss Nika. Good morning, Danielle. I came on here and reset the time to 9:45 because I felt like I was moving a little slow. Now I was ready to get on here at 9:32 and then look, I said, oh my God, I left my smoothie. Because I'm trying to have everything up here so I don't have to I don't love being off camera. Good morning, Nate. Good morning. Good morning, Nicety. How are you? Hey, DJ Mommy. How are you? Hey, Sunshine. Good morning, Demetrius. How are you? Hey, Jazz. I just hate that this chat haunts me. I was brushing my teeth, right? And I was like, oh, I looked at the time, it said 9:27. I said, Lord, I'm not gonna make it by 9:30. The comments will be there. And here we go. Comments are there. Good morning, Jazz. Hey, Malik, how are you? Good morning. Hey, Janice. Hey, Shay. Good morning, Brianna. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Mama Jackie. How are you? Oh, Jamaica, I saw Miss J is watching another case. I was just watching her video about some Ruth Chris rabbit hole she was going down with the guy, but I'm looking at the comments too. People don't really believe it, but I was just looking at her vid. Hey Missy, good morning. Hey Patricia. Hey Sunshine. Good morning, Denise. How are you? Hey Ashley. Hey Ronnie, how are you this morning? Good morning, Tracy. So you guys know we're on day 2. This is about a 19-day case, so we won't be here on this case. I'm thinking 2.5 weeks. And today, I do have to tell y'all, I have to end early today because I have to go to do something that's going to be way across town for me. It's going to take me probably I don't know, over an hour probably to get there. So I need to leave my house at a specific time. So I apologize. I didn't know that I needed to go do this until yesterday. So I apologize about that, guys. But y'all know I'll be in Vegas on tomorrow. Otherwise, I would have streamed tomorrow. So we'll just be back on Monday, and I'll stay on until 6 on Monday. So I'm sorry about that, guys. It was very last minute, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make sure I'm at this event, and then we'll be back in action on Monday, okay? Hey, but Missy, I love it, right? It feels like we're back in the swing of things with our roll call. Come on. Thank you so much, Lily. I appreciate that. Please, guys, come in and like the live. Liking the live actually helps me get in YouTube's algorithm. I appreciate it so much. My community manager at YouTube said my channel's been doing really great. So I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Yesterday, when I was doing my TikTok videos, child, I did them pretty late. But one of the videos that stuck out to me was just how heavy this case is. Even after I got off yesterday, I couldn't get that shirt out of my head. And, I know a lot of people love to watch this case, and I hate when people say, I hate when people just go, it's this big, it's almost, I guess, how John's family felt when we watched Karen Reed. There's this big, big group of people that are supporting this woman getting off. And my cousin asked me something last night. She said, well, in that case, did you feel like she hit him? I said, no, the science just didn't show that for me. I've only gotten through one day of this Melly trial, so I'm interested to see all of the evidence. But I always want to make sure we center the victims, because regardless of what happens with the case, there are victims in these cases. And yesterday, I was just like, man, these were friends. They were young. If it happened the way the state is saying, that is sad. If it didn't, it's still sad, because we need to find out who did this. But they're laser focused on Melly. Did they miss something? Well, we're going to see as we watch this case. We're going to see as we watch this case. Hey, Demetrius, thank you so much. Hey, Amy, I didn't see you creep in. Good morning. So, we already watched the Jenny. Child, we watched that maybe a couple of months ago. I probably when she resurfaced, and we probably watched it here, and then we watched Mariah after. With the whole Mariah thing, I think Mariah and her mom were probably, a lot of people say the police intimidated them. I don't know, y'all. I'm going to see what the records say, because I can't say for a fact that his phone showed that there was indeed a FaceTime call. The only thing I can say right now is that Christine Bradley says there was a FaceTime call. I don't know how they got that confession, what happened, but we'll see. I'm really interested that FaceTime call. I want to hear the information about the truck. What else do I want to hear about? I also want to hear outside. I see now they figured out that Melly was in the car from looking at the studio video. So I'm really interested to hear. I can't remember the guy with the red on that you guys were telling me about, the dreads. I can't remember his testimony, because I do think I saw a clip. So I'm interested to see that. So let's see how this progresses. But this is day 2, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start. So Malik says Christine lied about the FaceTime call. There was no record of it in the evidence. Okay, Malik. Hold on, Malik. I gotta make, hold on, y'all. I gotta start my day 2 notes. And I'm not even finished with my day 1 videos. Let's see. Well, Christine, let's see what this FaceTime call. Malik, I'm writing it down so that I can remember. If there's no record of the FaceTime call, I am going to I'm going to be done. So let's see. We'll see. Y'all, it's no record of the FaceTime call for real. Like, don't piss me off. It's no record of the call, because I just saw leaks. I hope I'm saying this right. Comment. The mom was the one that said Melly FaceTimed the daughter. But yeah, no evidence of it. You mean to tell me Apple don't have evidence of the FaceTime call? Is that what y'all telling me? Good morning, Day. Okay. It's too early. Malik, I don't know if I've seen your name here before, but Malik, it's too early to be stirring up trouble. It's too early to stir up. Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait for this, y'all. Hey, Shani, good morning. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Alice, I remember the bushes, and that's another reason why I was like, child, he either he did this and he was trying to cover, and I kept saying, but why would you call your girlfriend and that be your cover? If that just happened, I wouldn't call anyone, right? If you're trying to set it up. Thank you, Lexi. Good morning, Lexi. Good morning, Renee. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Okay. All right. I wish y'all wouldn't have told me this early. Now I'm sitting here waiting on the phone call now.
Good morning, you are. Good morning. Deputy. Well, this is our witness stand. When you get there, what I'd like you to do is just remain standing for a bit. Raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your full legal name for the record.
Brandon Maycock Jr.
Please spell your first and last name for the court.
First name Ramond. Last name Maycock.
Thank you, sir.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
That microphone adjusts up or down, not back and forth.
Yes, sir.
You ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you introduce yourself to the jury with your name and where you're currently employed?
Good morning. My name is Brandon Maycock. I'm currently employed at the Garden Sheriff's Office in the Central Division.
And what's your title?
I'm a deputy, detention deputy. Sorry.
And how long have you been employed by BSO?
I've been employed for 6 years now.
As a detention deputy?
Yes, ma'am.
And where exactly do you work as a detention deputy?
I work in the booking area.
Okay, at the jail, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are your duties and responsibilities?
I'm responsible for processing inmates that come in and out of jail.
Okay, and does that processing include fingerprinting defendants that come in and out of the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is that? I'm going to turn your attention to February 13, 2019. What does that entail when an individual comes in?
When an individual comes in, I fingerprint them, take the first shot, and process all their arrest data.
Okay, and during the course of your normal duties as a detention deputy, did you come into contact with the defendant Jamell Demons back on February 13th of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you come into contact with him?
In the processing area.
And what was your role in processing the defendant?
My fingerprinting.
And similar to your general duties, you would have processed him, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Showing the witness what was previously shown to defense counsel as states U for identification. Deputy, can you take a look at that? It's a 2-page document, and when you're done, you can look up. Do you recognize that?
Yes, ma'am.
How is it that you recognize?
It's a small group of us today. Nikki, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate it over here, girl. Welcome to the Millionaire Club. Thank you.
It has my CCN on it.
And what is your CCN?
It's a work ID.
Is that unique to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this in the same or substantially the same condition as when you last took it back on February 13th of 2019?
No, ma'am.
What's the difference?
I took the fingerprints on the electronic monitor.
And does BSO then store that electronic document in their BSO system?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than that, any change?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves into evidence what was pre-marked as states U, the state's next numbered exhibit.
The objection.
No objection.
It'll be admitted.
States U will be marked states 27.
Deputy, do you have any further involvement with the defendant, Mr. Demons?
No, ma'am.
Do you see the defendant, Jamell Demons, in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you point him out by an article of clothing and his location in the courtroom?
He's sitting to my right hand side, has on a sweater and a suit jacket.
Is that the individual that you fingerprinted back on February 13th of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Is there any cross-examination?
Just briefly.
Y'all, that is his hold on. Is that me? Or is that Lauren Crump?
Yes, Your Honor. I think I left off when you were discussing your forensic training, right? And you do forensic proficiency testing,
Yes,
and how often is that done?
yearly.
And how many times?
First of all, a lot of y'all always tell on yourselves that, and you know, we watch all of these cases, and as we watch these cases, the police always screw up some investigations. Many of you in this chat, at some point, you guys are going to say something that lets me know they need to come hire y'all. I'm just saying. What? What the hell? Okay, sometimes I'm telling you, sometimes you guys tell on yourselves. I don't know what city. Look, Fulton County may need to come scoop you up. Then, yeah, I'm just saying they might need to.
In your work week, you say that you perform comparisons.
Every day,
And how often in your career have you performed comparisons?
1,000.
And have you previously testified in court,
Yes,
specifically here in the state of Florida?
yes,
How many times?
86.
And in this particular case, did you receive a comparison request from the state attorney's office?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor? I'm showing the witness was previously been shown to counsel as states double B for identification. Do you recognize page 1?
Yes, I do,
And how is it that you recognize that document?
because I see my markings on there.
Okay, and those markings were made during the course of your comparison in this case.
Yes, they were.
Any alterations or deletions to that document?
No,
I'm also approaching with what's in evidence in states 27. Do you recognize states 27?
yes, I do,
And how is it that you also recognize states 27?
because I see my markings.
Is states 27 and what's currently now marked as for identification purposes is states double B what you received for comparison in this case?
Yes,
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move into evidence what's been pre-marked as states BB as the next numbered exhibit.
Same objection, Your Honor.
Thank you. Objection noted, so ordered.
States BB will be marked states 20.
Just gonna retrieve this. Now, can you walk us through your comparison steps? What is that process like?
we follow a process. It's ACE-B, which stands for analysis, comparison, evaluation, and verification.
Okay, let's talk about the analysis phase. What does that entail?
That is when we look at the evidence and we determine whether it is quality enough for us to make a comparison.
Okay, and Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm going to provide these to you in case you for reference, states 27 and 28. So in your analysis step, what's the first thing that you're doing when you have states 26 and 27?
I am looking at the quality of the prints that we receive.
And are you using any tools to assist you in this process?
Yes, we use a 4-power magnifying glass.
And in this particular case, when you completed your analysis stage, was it sufficient for you to move on to the next phase?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and the next phase you identified as the comparison phase.
Yes,
What does that phase entail?
that's when we look for details and minutia.
Okay, and what specifically, which exhibit are you looking for the minutia and detail in?
The evidence,
So in front of you, if you can identify for the record state's number on the back,
BB,
which is now in evidence, it says 27. It's
20.
28, my apologies, 28. So you're looking for minutia and detail. Why is that important?
because that is how I am able to determine whether it's quality enough for me to make an actual comparison.
And was states 28 of quality value for you to compare and make a comparison in this case?
Yes, it was.
And we move on to the next stage at this point, the evaluation phase.
The evaluation is where, once I make a comparison and I determine that it is enough or not enough detail for me to make a conclusion, and that is when I do say yes, that is either source identification or non-ident, or if it's inconclusive, well, I can't make a determination.
Okay, so there are a few options in every case, right? So you have
Correct.
source identification, you can exclude it, or it's inconclusive.
Correct.
Now, at this particular stage of comparison phase, what did you determine in this case?
That it was source identification,
Okay, and what was that based on?
that these two set of fingerprints were from the same source.
So states number 27, is that correct? And states number 28 are
Correct.
from the same source,
Yes,
meaning that the fingerprints that you compared are of the same source.
yes.
And what about the V stage, the verification stage?
Verification stage is where I give my paperwork to another analyst for them to do the technical verification of the work that I did.
Okay, and after, and before your verification step, you indicated earlier that there's some markings on the document. Are those markings, when are those markings made?
When
Yes.
I do my work.
Now, just a second, y'all. It is only 123 of us in here today. We should have those likes well over 100 at this point. Good morning, Ash. Thank you so much for the reminder. This is why I love the mods, because they really do chime in. Thank you. I wasn't even thinking about that, but it's only 123 of us, guys. You're going to click the X and just like the live. I appreciate it. Again, it does help me stay in the algorithm. It helps others find me on YouTube land. Thank you. Good morning, Amanda. Hey, Sharonda.
So throughout,
And sorry, guys. I know she is, she just did fingerprints and she's comparing them. Does anyone know what she took the fingerprints off of? Because I think I missed that.
the evaluation stage, before the verification stage, you're making those markings.
Correct.
And so when you're completed with the verification stage, do you formalize your opinion or your determination in writing?
Yes,
And that's placed on a report?
yes.
Your Honor, a moment to confirm. Your Honor, can I retrieve the evidence from the witness?
Yes.
And at this time, the state's requesting to publish states 27 and 28.
You may.
Publishing states 27.
Excuse me, Garrett.
Try to see. And you should be able to see it in front of your screen, but states 27, you indicated the markings. Are those at the top left right here that I'm pointing to?
Yes,
Those markings that you've made?
yes.
Now publishing states 28. And the markings that you referred to in states 28, are those here that I'm pointing to on the bottom right?
Yes,
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you so much for the super chat. These are fingerprints, guys. And I'm assuming these are the fingerprints that she had to compare them to something, but we're going to see. Good morning, Miss Eyes. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys, again, it's 123 of us in here. Please do me a favor and like the live, please.
And you indicated that the source of the identification on states 28 and on states 27 were the same source.
yes.
Nothing further.
Councilor Zink, cross examination.
I have nothing to say. Thank you.
This witness excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. You're excused. Counsel, call your next witness.
Now let me just say, I'm not sure. I didn't see everything, but if we go back to that form and she's comparing the two, let's see if we can see whose name is on there. Florida. This is someone who's 5'8". I know he ain't 120 pounds. I see that it says it says necklace. You see that? Necklace, bracelet, broken. I'm trying to see if we get a date. I know that way. If that weight says 120 pounds, is it Melly? But he's not 5'8". Is it? I don't know if it's from one of the victims. But it looks like they're comparing the fingerprints. Well, I mean, I've seen all three of them with looks that looked like it was mug shots. I don't know if that's where it's from, but she's comparing fingerprints to this. This looks like jewelry, and being that the person who just came in, maybe they compare his fingerprints to the stuff that he brought in and turned in when he turned himself in. I didn't hear what it was from.
The source of the identification on states 28 and on states 27 were the same source.
Yes.
And just why the hell? And see, this is the type of stuff prosecutors do that bothers me. I hope there's something else his fingerprints were on, because of course his fingerprints were going to be on his clothes, or maybe they're doing it just to establish that they've compared them before. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it yet, guys, but maybe it'll make sense.
Nothing further.
Counsel, is there any cross-examination?
I have nothing to say. Thank you.
This witness excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. You're excused. Counsel, call your next witness.
Under this time, we will be publishing the additional video from state 7, and we'll be doing a very including the evidence.
Actually, there's some additions to evidence as well. Your Honor, pursuant to public records, I'm moving to evidence that was pre-marked as state CC as the next state's number exhibit. I've
Sorry,
previously
counsel.
shown it to counsel.
Is there any objection?
Look at Christine standing over there at that table.
That's it, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, Ken, good morning. Morning. Worse than 20. I mean, just hey, Ebony, good morning.
That'll be admitted.
Okay, y'all. I thought they were done with everything. I will say, watching this trial and seeing the confidence, like the little comments that she's making, and knowing that she's going to eventually be recused. It's just funny.
For our information,
Why we
publishing
were in.
You ready?
It's good, but I feel Jamell is me. I think I got a citation once for my license was suspended. I didn't know. I know it's not on that picture. I mean, people gonna see it. Those nice mugshots. See, when I got my tea and I have my smoothie and I've got my water right here. I think I'm losing weight. I can just tell, you know how like the little one roll starts to get a little smaller. But yeah, I haven't outside of the lunch and I've been eating at home. It's been pretty good. Okay, Ronnie. You don't have to do anything. The mail. The mail, okay. That probably later tonight. Later tonight for sure because I'm sure y'all don't want to go live. Later tonight. Alice, you supposed to go. Oh my God, he's so young, born in 90. Penny, I remember the judge correcting them because they kept doing that, calling him demons. I said, when I first heard it, I said, not his last name, Demons. And then I saw the judge correct it. I'm sorry, he got a cute little mug shot. So y'all, we can skip through this. She's not talking or anything. She's just flipping through his past run-ins with the law. It's a couple of them too. I guess just verify who he is.
Yeah, the Senate State resumes publishing of State 7.
Hey JT, good morning. Probably just verify who he is, Bridge. All of his run-ins with the law. I think I saw voter registration as well.
Channel 1, October 26, 2018, time on video 0208. Channel 1, October 26, 2018, time on video 21111.
Bridge looked like they showed everything. Registration, ID, just anything. With everything.
Channel 1, 10/26, 2018, 217, 43.
Guys, isn't this the incident day? The 26th? Oh, this is another view of the studio. Thank you, Vitra. This is another view of the studio. Okay. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. Hey, Cutie Pie, how are you? Okay.
To 11.
Ooh, Vitra! So this is inside the studio now, y'all? Okay.
Channel
We've
3,
seen
10,
them
26,
go out.
18, 217, 34.
It's them leaving. Okay, we saw them get out. Is this the studio? This looks like a studio. This the studio again,
Channel 6,
y'all.
10, 26, 18, 02,
Hey,
11,
Tisha.
28.
Okay.
Channel 6, 10, 26, 2018, 02, 17, 33.
Oh, God. Let's see.
No, you're,
Oh, I thought you were looking right at me.
he's right. No, he's good. All right, we're in recess. Thank you. Good morning, are you Mr. Carter?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, come on up here, this is our witness stand. When you get up there, sir, what I'd like you to do is just remain standing for a bit. Raise your right hand, you sworn.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your full legal name for the record.
Christopher Allen Carter.
Please spell the first and last name for the record.
KRISGOHER
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, please have a seat. Carter, that microphone in front of you will adjust up or down, not back and forth.
Sorry, repeat that.
It'll go up or down, but not back and forth. Ready? Councilman?
Thank you. Good morning. How are you today?
Good yourself.
Could you please introduce yourself to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury and say where you work?
I'm a crime scene investigator for the City of Fort Lauderdale Police Department.
And so Investigator Carter, how long have you been with the city of Fort Lauderdale as a crime scene investigator?
I am coming up on 4 years as an investigator with the City of Fort Lauderdale.
Prior to working for the city of Fort Lauderdale, where did you work?
I worked for the Miramar Police Department.
What did you do for the Miramar Police Department?
I'm sorry. When Christine asked these questions, and I said this in my video yesterday, Christine, I can tell she's on one. All right, now, and prior to doing that, where did you work? All right, and after that, well, where were you? You can tell. Christine knew. She knew she had this in the bag, and you are not going to tell me that this woman had any doubt she was going to lose this case. Or kicked off. Christine kicked off of her case. She had this case in the bag. You can hear it in her voice. Every witness, she like defense play if you want to. She knew she had this man. He does Ash.
I was a crime scene technician for about 3 years.
What were your job's responsibilities
Yes,
as a crime
yes.
scene technician for the city of Miramar?
To respond to crime scenes and observe, document, collect, and preserve evidence.
When the 3 years you were there, can you give us a rough time frame?
I started about August of 2016 and transferred to Fort Lauderdale July of 2019.
What types of training and education did you have to work in crime scene?
I got my associate's degree at the Broward College in crime scene and also have over 100 hours in training related to forensics and crime scene investigation.
Are you required to do continual training on a yearly basis?
When able to do it budgetary reasons, yes.
With regard to the training and stuff that you've completed with the Miramar Police Department before you started engaging in casework, can you describe a little bit about that?
The training that I went through, like I said, was the associate's degree in the program through Broward College, and within that, you are taught how to respond to crime scenes, how to observe crime scenes, how to observe evidence on crime scenes, and how to properly document and preserve those pieces of evidence and collect them.
Are you trained specifically in areas such as photography?
Yes.
What types of training and experience do you have in photography and documenting a crime scene?
During the associate's degree, I went through a particular class that was geared towards forensic photography, and that was aside from the main forensics degree program.
For forensic photography, what type of equipment do you use?
You use a digital camera, a external light source typically to better illuminate the pieces of evidence. With that would be a flash, and that's about it.
I want to go to October 26th of 2018. Did you have an occasion to be involved in a Miramar police case investigation under case number 18-10-06269?
Yes, it is.
At that point, where were you employed?
At the city of Miramar Police Department.
What was your role in that case at first?
I was requested to respond to the Broward County Medical Examiner's Office to observe the autopsies that were executed there, and also to process one of the decedents, and then later on to process the vehicle that was involved in the crime scene.
So at the medical examiner's office, can you describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where that's located?
It is located in Davie. I do not have an exact address, but
Is it within the city of Miramar?
yeah, it's not.
So after you left the medical examiner's office, did you return to the city of Miramar?
Correct.
You indicated you helped in processing a vehicle.
Correct.
Did you take photographs while you were processing that vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Approximately how many photographs did you take?
I believe it was around 422.
Prior to coming into court today, did you have a chance to review a much smaller selection of those 422 photographs?
Yes, I did.
Are these showing you what's been marked as states D for identification? It It's a composite of photographs. Did you have an opportunity to look through these before you came to court today?
Yes, I did.
Do they fairly and accurately represent the photographs you took on October 26th of 2018?
They do.
Here at this time, the state was requesting of states D and as state 30 and published to the jury.
Is there any objection?
No.
So they'll be admitted as composites, is that correct?
That's correct, Your
How
Honor.
many photographs?
I have to double check on that. I believe it is 65.
States DD will be marked states 30.
I'm sorry, what number?
30.
Thank you.
Investigator Clark, you can touch the screen as well to indicate areas of interest. 65 photos, Your Honor.
Okay.
Starting with photo number 1, what is this?
This is a photo identifier that we would take prior to the crime scene to properly show the date the photographs were taken, the case number related to it, and the type of case and the location where the photographs were taken.
What location is 2811 Southwest 186th Avenue?
That is the Miramar Police Department substation.
Okay. The next photo, what are we looking at here?
This is a piece of evidence tape that was used to seal the garage that the vehicle was kept in.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what is the evidence tape seal for?
The evidence tape seal is like it should be explained, the seal to show that nobody has entered the premises from the time of when the investigator sealed the premises to when now I'm responding and photographing the seal.
Was the seal here at the bottom of the large doors still intact when you responded?
Yes, it was.
Moving on to the interior door. What are we looking at in this photograph?
Again, you were looking at a seal of evidence tape that was placed by the investigator prior to their leaving. And then when I arrived, I photographed the seal to show that it was still sealed upon my arrival.
Moving on to the next photograph. What are we looking at here?
This is Detective Mark Moretti reading the search warrant for the vehicle.
The vehicle in question, what is it?
I believe it was a Jeep Compass.
Is that the same that's indicated on that photo in the red lettered writing?
Yes.
Moving on to the next photo. What are we looking at in here? Zoom in here to the hood area.
That is another piece of evidence tape used to seal the vehicle in the same way that we sealed the premises prior to a search warrant. The vehicle and all of its entries are sealed prior to the search warrant being executed.
So, for example, now looking at the screen down here at the bottom of the passenger side doors, that red item, is that the same evidence tape we've been looking at?
Yes, it is.
Moving on to the next photo. What are we looking at in this image?
This is showing the front passenger side portion of the vehicle.
Moving on to the next photo.
This is showing the exterior of the front passenger side and rear passenger side doors.
Have you begun executing and searching the search warrant at this point?
No, I have not.
So what is the purpose of all these exterior outside photos?
All these are to document the vehicle in which I found it when I responded to the search warrant, and all photos are taken prior to execution of the search warrant.
So again, going to the rear door seal, was that one still intact?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the rear trunk seal, was that one still intact?
Yes, it was.
The initials MK that are on that, do you know who those belong to?
Yes, that is Michael Kelly,
And
which
you-
was my supervisor at the time.
You read my mind as to my next question. On the back of this vehicle photo, what is the tag number of the Florida tag that was assigned?
India Echo Kilo Delta 22.
For those of us not in law enforcement, can you please translate?
IEK T22.
The India Echo Kilo Delta that you just used, what is that commonly referred to? The alphabet.
Fanatical.
Going on, what are we looking at on this image?
This is showing the driver's side exterior of the vehicle.
And going to the seals on this particular item.
Sorry, repeat that.
The seals right here on this particular area or item of the door, was it intact?
Yes, it was.
Moving on to the front door seal at the bottom between the front driver's door and the rear driver's door. Was this seal also intact?
Yes, it was.
As to the state of the windows of the car, had they been manipulated in any way while you were taking these pictures?
No, they were not.
Moving on to the final picture of the evidence tape here on the driver's side door by the A column near the hood. Was this evidence seal still intact?
Yes, it was.
What was the VIN or vehicle identification number of this vehicle?
3C4N JDD B2 JT 198929.
The first photo that we're looking at here was now inside the vehicle. Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you're documenting in this photo.
From here, I took photos of the exterior of the vehicle. Then the doors of the vehicle were opened up. And as is, without anything being moved or disturbed, photographs of the interior of the vehicle were collected.
So you say without being anything moved or disturbed. What do you do to make sure that you're not contaminating any of the evidence?
I wear gloves prior to each time touching the vehicle. That goes with touching my equipment, going back to the vehicle, and vice versa.
The front passenger side view that we're looking at right here. Later on are the items collected,
Yes, they are.
and we'll get to that in a little bit. With what area of the car are we looking at here in this next photo? My apologies.
That is the area between the front passenger seat and the door jamb for the front passenger door.
Next photo, what are we looking at here?
That is the front passenger side floorboard.
Moving on here, the seats, did you manipulate them in any way before taking this photograph?
No, they're not.
Moving on into the next photograph, what are we looking at there?
Those are gold caps for teeth.
And so it's clear that that's a close-up photo from this rear passenger door. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, that's correct.
When we're looking out this rear passenger door, what are you documenting in this particular area?
I'm documenting the interior of the rear passenger door and the door jamb for the rear passenger door, as well as the seat and the floorboard of the rear passenger.
Moving on to the next image, what are we looking at in this photo?
That is a spent projectile.
So I'm going to go back a photo. Is that the same projectile that is down here?
Yes, it is.
Going forward again, what are we looking at in this image?
That is the rear passenger side floorboard and the items that were found there.
Continuing to the next photo, what are you documenting in this image?
In this image, you can see the partial back of the front passenger side seat, the, again, floorboard of the rear passenger side floorboard, the rear passenger side seat, and a projectile hole that you can see defect onto the seat.
And so I'm going to zoom in on an area. Can you explain what you're talking about, the projectile hole?
Yes.
And you can use this screen to touch if you're to draw attention to certain areas.
I observed a defect in the seat that is later on gone into detail.
Moving on to the next image here. What are we looking at?
This is the rear passenger side seat as well as the rear center console, and cup holders, and partial of the rear driver's side seat.
This area in the center with the two Sprite cans, is that how you found it in the down position?
Yes, it was.
In this image here, can you describe a little bit about what's the red and white plastic item on the bottom on the floorboard? What is that?
That is a plastic bag.
What are you documenting in this image?
This image shows the trunk which had been opened, and in the photograph you can see the car manual and a jacket.
Did you disturb any of the glass? Did any of the glass move when you were opening that trunk?
Not that I recall.
What are you, in this next image, I'm gonna go back one. Did you open the rear trunk to get better photographs inside?
Correct.
Is this the interior of the rear trunk lid?
Yes, it is.
Can you kind of describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury as to how the trunk lid is, how you're taking the picture so they can orient themselves in space?
In this photo, the orientation is standing at the back of the vehicle. The hatch trunk is opened up, and I'm looking upward at the interior of the trunk.
And so why did you take a picture of this white fuzzy stuff?
I observed a projectile defect.
Moving on to the next photo. What did you document here?
This is a yellow jacket that was found inside the trunk that I observed red stains on.
Why would you document red stains?
Because of the presumptively would be blood.
Did you do any presumptive testing at this point?
Not at this point.
Moving on to this next image. What are we looking at here?
This is the rear
All this blood.
driver's side seat. From the vantage point of the driver's side, the driver's side door. Shows the driver's side seat, the driver's side floorboard, as well as some of the cup holders and rear passenger side seat.
Next image, what are we looking at here?
This is also another photo of the rear driver's side and cup holder.
Next image, what are you focusing on in this particular image?
This photo shows the rear driver's side floorboard, which has a Gatorade bottle, a cap, and a white plastic bag.
Moving on to the next image, what are you showing here?
In this image, this shows the interior of the front driver's side door and the somewhat of the interior of the front driver's side seat and floorboard.
Moving on to the next image here, what are you looking at?
This image shows the steering wheel, partial of the front driver's side seat, the center console, and the side of the front passenger side seat.
On the next image now, we have a little bit different. Why do you put these yellow numbers?
These numbers, at the time I called photo markers, now with my agency I refer to them as placards, so I might refer to them also as placards. But these placards show and denote items of interest that will later be collected, and it's easier to recall back to a certain item and to show where that item is.
As you're documenting and collecting the evidence, do you use these photo markers in your reports and notes?
Yes, I do.
So to go back to the photo of 1, 2, 3, 5, where did you collect the items at photo marker number 1?
Yes, I did.
Do you maintain the liquids that are inside of them when you worked at the Miramar Police Department?
I do not recall.
As to photo marker number 3.
Here's the thing, Jenny, because Jenny just she brought up something important. You know, from the surveillance video from the studio, Melly gets in the car with them. Well, there is a witness that is going to testify that halfway through the drive, yes, he got out of this car and got in their car. So he was at the house when all of this happened. So she said, would he really cover for his friend being a murderer? Yes. There is no doubt in my mind that he would cover. Look at what Bortland's doing right now. I don't know what Bortland is hiding or covering, but they're covering something. There was not a shootout, a drive-by, where they say the drive-by happened, right? Just starting by that, it's very plausible that his friend would lie for him. I'm sorry, but there's no doubt in my mind that a friend would lie for him. So I don't know. Jenny, I don't know. I'm just you asked, would he really lie for his friend? He could. People do it all the time. People lie and cover for their family members, their friends all the time. Is that what happened here? I don't know. And when you say only Melly and Bortland had keys for the house, that could have given them the keys. I mean, for everything that someone says, oh well, they couldn't get in the house without Melly or Bortland. Have you never had a person stay at your home and instead of making them a key, you say, oh, I'll use my garage opener, you take the key? It can happen. So with the whole swapping cars thing, I think it would have been, having the witness was really good for Melly. Having the witness was really good for him. But here's the thing, they still have to prove it to the jury. And I can't remember the vote split, but I think they were leaning more guilty than not with the vote split with the last jury. So I hope that his team has listened to what they said in the jury interviews and they tighten it up if he's going to get the not guilty.
Did you collect the items of evidence that were there next to photo marker number 3?
Yes, I did.
Moving on to photo marker number 6, did you collect the gold teeth that were in that pocket there?
Yes, I did.
Item number 7, did you collect that item?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
That was the spent projectile.
For item that's at photo marker number 8, what was that and did you collect that?
I believe that is denoting the pair of shoes. Yes, I did.
Okay. And to go to a better picture for photo marker number 9, did you collect the item at photo marker number 9?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
That is a cell phone.
As to photo marker number 10, did you collect the 2 Sprite cans that were there?
Yes, I did.
Going on to the rear of the vehicle, photo markers 12, 13, and 14. Did you collect the various items listed in this photo?
Yes, I did.
Did you have help and assistance in processing this vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Who helped you?
Crime scene technician Tara Carroll.
Did you guys have a plan of attack as to how to process the vehicle?
We split up the vehicle into certain sections and each processed those areas of the vehicle and collected the items that were in relation to those areas.
So it's clear to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what section were you assigned?
I was assigned to the driver's side of the vehicle.
In your report, how did you write down which side you were responsible for?
In the report, it shows that swabs were taken from the passenger side of the vehicle, which was incorrect in the report and was later shown as a correction in the primary receipts, as well as the original swab boxes that were collected on scene.
So let's stop for a second there and explain when you're collecting swabs, what are you doing?
I am using sterile distilled water and placing that onto a cotton swab and passing that over, rubbing that over an area that in which I either believe there may be the presence of DNA, and that area is processed with the swab, then placed inside a sterile swab box, and on that swab box I notate where that item was, or what item was swabbed with those swabs.
So let's go very minute, detail by detail. First thing you do is what? When you're getting the swab and you're ready to swab an area. Do you change your gloves? I want very precise.
Yes. I get my new pair of gloves out of the box and take the new sterile swab, open the swab packaging, and seal and sterile, and open up a new sealed container of sterile water, and that water is then placed in drop form on the top of the swab, and then the swab is then rubbed over the area in which I intend to process.
Do you ever dip the swab back into the sterile water and sort of double dipping, for lack of a better term? After you swab the area, what's the next step you take?
The swab box is opened, the swabs are put inside the swab box, then that swab box is closed, and then I notate on the swab box what items processed with the swabs.
Do you complete the property receipt at that same time?
I do not.
When do you complete your property receipt?
The property receipt is completed later on in the office, when the item is then going to be submitted to the Evidence Bureau.
When do you do your report?
The report is done following, usually when all work is done.
So in terms of the most accurate description of what is that swab is of, what would that be?
The note on the swab box.
So going back to the photos, in terms of the process and the timing, when you're doing the swabs, is it before these photos, after these photos, just so the jury understands?
Not me on mute. Forrest, thank you so much for gifting 5 Millionaire Mail memberships. And you know the drill. If you got a membership from Forrest, please say thank you in the chat. We are very appreciative over here. We show that by saying thank you in the chat. We for anytime somebody gives memberships. And thank you so much for the mods for keeping everything going on in the chat. Oh, thank you for the membership. I can't see who gifted it. I'm still new to this. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you said thank you. And we appreciate that. We appreciate it.
And the way you process the car.
The way I process it is I remove all items that are deemed as evidence, and I remove those from the vehicle. And then prior to any other processing, whether that be made prints, the car is processed for possible DNA, and then there to the prints.
And to be clear, did you do any of the latent prints in this case?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Moving on to the pictures with item markers or photo markers 10, 11, 16 here. Were those items 16, 11 collected?
Yes, they were.
And forgive me. In terms of the numbers and the item numbers, was there a time or a number that you collected 1 through 15, 1 through 20, the items, and Ms. Carroll collected the others?
Yes, there were.
And do you recall which specific photo markers and items you were responsible for collecting?
I would have to refer to my report.
Would you looking at your report and refresh your recollection as to that?
Yes, I do.
If I may approach that?
Yes.
Again, can you refresh your recollection?
Yes,
Okay, that being said, I'll ask again, which items or photo markers were you responsible for collecting numerically?
items 12 through 20 were the items that I collected.
In terms of these photographs, they were all taken by you. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
Moving on to item number 18 and 17. Did you collect those two?
Yes, I did.
19 and 20 as shown here. Did you collect those?
Yes, I did.
What are we looking at in this photo here?
This photo shows the trunk portion of the vehicle with the hatch covering the spare tire removed.
The processing here again at the, what location of the car on this photo or next one?
This is the front driver's side floorboard.
Okay, you have, and what photo marker is here?
19.
So what are we looking at here underneath the brake pedal?
That I believe is a spent projectile.
Is that then marked with photo marker number 24 that we're looking at in this photo?
Yes, it is.
And item number 23, the glasses case. You were documenting that? Sorry.
Correct.
On to photo marker number 25. Did you take these images here?
Yes, I did.
Photo marker 26. Did you take those?
Yes, I did.
Are these the items that were in the glove box?
Yes, they are.
In terms of this enterprise receipt that we're looking at here, does that vehicle description listed on this enterprise receipt and VIN number match the Jeep Compass that you've been looking at?
No, they do not.
And the name of the individual who rented this vehicle was that on this enterprise receipt? On the, and not the Jeep Compass, my apologies, I'll rephrase. The enterprise receipt, did it have a name of a renter on it?
Yes, it did.
And what was that?
Jameson Francois.
A rental.
I'm going to move on to the next photo here. What have you done to document the scene in this photo inside this Jeep?
In this photo, it shows trajectory rods that were placed inside of the projectile defects to show an approximate path of the projectile.
Excuse me, can we approach? Sure.
I'm gonna say it again. I know these rental car companies hate when stuff like this happens because now you just lost that car.
These green, red
No.
items that are now in the back seat of the Jeep.
These are called trajectory rods. Like I said, they are used to show the approximate path of the projectile when it struck the surface.
How many trajectory rods are in this photo that we're looking at here?
There are 7.
Going forward to the next photograph, what are we looking at here?
This is the opposite side of the rear passenger side seat, showing the trajectory rods coming.
Objection.
Same objection?
Yes, sir.
Overruled.
Again, showing what?
Showing the trajectory rods coming through the back of the rear passenger seat and through to the front of the rear passenger side seat.
And can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how you place them?
The trajectory rods are placed through one defect, pass through the object, and then through the other defect on the opposite side.
going forward to this next photo, all the other items of evidence have been removed. So I want to go for time frame. How long after the initial processing are we talking where you're doing these trajectory runs?
I do not have time.
When we're looking at this photo here, what are we looking at?
This is the rear driver's side interior door and floorboard seat.
Looking here at this photo, what are you documenting?
You right, Cass.
And where is it in relation to that last photo?
I am documenting a projectile defect that was in the door jamb of the rear driver's side door.
And so I'm going to go back to the last photo. If you could circle a couple of times on the screen the area that you are photographing in the next photograph. Okay. And going to the opposite angle view of that. Can you again circle the defect so it's clear? And to get this photo, how did you have to position the rear driver's side door?
The door had to be fully opened and the defect had to be photographed from looking from the inside of the vehicle out.
So going on to the next photograph here, you mentioned prior that there was a projectile on the seat that you recovered.
Correct.
Is this the process you had to undertake?
Yes, it was.
What did you do? Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
I used a scalpel to remove the top layer of the leather, and it showed a projectile that was situated inside the funds.
Is this another view of that process?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did you assign a photo marker to that item and collect it?
Yes, I did.
And what are we looking at this image?
This is an image of the projectile as it was removed from the phone to be fully photographed.
Okay. So those 65 photos that you took at the processing of the Jeep, is that been, we've gone through all of those? I want to move on now to the photos that you took of the items of evidence that you collected.
And I will say that after hearing that most of the shots that were recovered from those young men's bodies, they happened after they were already unalive. When I look at me like I'm on TikTok. When I heard that, I started feeling more and more, okay, maybe this was staged. But on the flip side, if the first couple of shots hit the young men, then there's an argument to be made that, okay, these shots took them out and then they kept firing more. So I'm just gonna continue to listen to all of the evidence, but also keeping in mind what we're hearing as far as, was it staged? Do you guys think they were ambushed? Those are answers the jury had to go back there and deliberate on. Finding the shell casing inside of the car, like they said, that means something was fired inside of the car. What? Who fired it though? So let's continue to hear.
It's EE for identification. What, in terms of the item number 12 that's on here as well, is that the same yellow jacket?
Yes, it was.
Is the number 12 consistent every time you're using or photographing something from photo marker number 12?
Correct.
The other item that we see on here, kind of the L-shaped gray and white, What is that?
That is a scale.
What's the purpose of having that in your photographs?
The scale shows the size of the item that you're looking to document. And the scale also has parameters on it that allow it to be fixed if not taken at the correct angle.
Understood. Moving on to the next photo, is this the opposite side of item number 12?
Yes.
What do you do in between items to ensure that there's no cross-contamination?
In between items, the paper on the floor where the item is placed is changed every single time. And my gloves are changed in between touching my camera and going back to the evidence.
When you say the paper that's down there, what is that? What specific type of paper do you use?
It's called a brown craft paper.
Is it ever reused during the course of the case?
No, it is not.
Moving on to the next photo, what are we looking at here?
That is a sock, a Jeep Compass user guide, and a box.
And what photo marker were these documented at the previous set of photos?
Photo marker 13.
Going on to this next photo, still at photo marker 13. What are you showing here?
I am showing the opposite side of both the sock and the Jeep Compass user manual and the interior of the box.
Moving on to item number 15. That is what?
That is a disposable lighter.
Did the Miramar Police Department policies and procedures allow you to maintain that item in evidence?
No,
Why not?
because of the combustible nature of the liquid inside.
So the documentation of this evidence is just the photographs.
That is correct.
Moving on to item 16. What photo marker were these items documented under?
Photo marker 16.
And what are we looking at here?
This is a belt, a disposable lighter, a pair of scissors, and a blue container.
Inside the blue container, based on your training and experience, what did that substance appear to be?
I observed a green leafy substance inside of the container.
Did it have any odor associated with it?
I do not recall.
Moving on to the next item number, what are we looking at here?
This is a Gatorade bottle with red stains on it.
And what photo marker was it documented at?
Photo marker 17.
Hey, K. Schmidt, thank you so much for gifting 5 Millionaire Mail memberships. K. Schmidt is always look quiet, but will pop out and gift a membership. Give some memberships to you guys. I appreciate that. And y'all know the drill. If you get a membership from K. Schmidt, please say thank you in the chat. Y'all, that Gatorade bottle just threw me way off. I did not know that thing was covered in blood. This scene is just it's a terrible scene. This is really gruesome.
Moving on to the next photo marker. What are we looking at here?
This is a water bottle, I believe a black plastic cap, a Gatorade bottle, also with red stains on it, and a white plastic bag with red stains, and containing a green plastic cap and a spent bullet casing.
And Jeff, I don't know. I can't wait to keep seeing.
Moving on to the next photo. Where was this casing located?
I have to say right now, we are 4 witnesses in. Are we 4 or 5 witnesses in? Right now, she has proved to me that Melly got in the car. Right? This is their case in chief. We haven't gotten to the defense they haven't done a ton of cross. Right now, it has been proven to us that Melly got in the car. Right? It has been proven to us that Cortland took the 2 bodies to the hospital. It has been proven when Cortland got to the hospital, Melly was not in the car. He was not in the car. There was only Cortland. What happened from the time they left the studio to the time Cortland made it to the hospital. We don't know. So we'll keep watching. We'll eventually hear that. But right now, she has at least proven that he initially got in the car. She has proven to us that Cortland, well, I'll say the defense has proven to us that Cortland's story kept changing. The defense has proved that Cortland lied. Cortland told us that this happened in one location. It didn't. Now we find a scene 3 weeks later. So that's it. That's it, Zacho. That's the right now. Those are the questions I'm wondering. Okay. His lawyer having him stand up. Did you see this young man when you were at the hospital? No, I didn't see him. So now, what are you thinking? Well, where the hell was Melly? Because we saw all 4 of them get in that car. Where the hell was Melly? We don't know right now. All we know is Cortland took the bodies to the hospital. Cortland had no blood on him when he changed clothes. Cortland. Right now, we don't know what's going on with Melly. We know that they searched a storage unit that belonged to his manager, not him. Right? Hey, Jennifer. Listen, that storage unit belonged to him. That other apartment belonged to Jameson. The gun holsters, all of the stuff relating to it belonged to Jameson. So that's what we got right now. That's what we got. It's crazy, Vitra. Right now, I'm just like, okay, I'm seeing it.
You took the item out of the car.
The casing was located in a white plastic bag that was found on the rear driver's side floorboard.
Was it visible until you removed the bag?
No, it was not.
Moving on to this next photo with the scale and the large number 18. What are we looking at here?
This is a closer-up photo of the spent cartridge casing that was collected from a white plastic bag.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd be so kind as to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what is on the next photo that we're looking at and have zoomed in on.
This is the head stamp of the spent cartridge casing that reads Blazer 40 S&W.
And I'm not going to assume anyone is familiar with firearms or anything of that. So could you please give the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what is a bullet cartridge or an unfired bullet?
A unfired bullet comprises of a projectile that is the front end of the cartridge casing, and the cartridge casing comprises of gunpowder, a primer, and when the primer is struck, the gunpowder there's an explosion that happens with the cartridge casing expelling the projectile.
In a revolver, what happens to the casing, the cartridge casing that we're looking at here?
The cartridge casing stays within the cylinder.
If it is a semi-automatic firearm or automatic firearm, what happens to the casing?
The spent cartridge casing is ejected through the ejection port on the semi-automatic weapon.
So the projectile that we're looking at in some of the other photos, that would be contained with a casing to make a unfired bullet.
Sorry, repeat that.
So for some of the projectiles that you've seen in the other photos that you documented, like for example, at photo marker 7 and 24 on those would be part of an unfired bullet along with a casing.
Correct.
Moving on to the next item that you collected. What were these?
These are 2 white sandals and a blue plastic container.
Is this a different blue plastic container than the one that was in the back seat?
I do not recall.
Then determining the contents of this blue plastic container, what did you observe inside?
I observed an unknown pre-release substance.
Moving on to item number 20. Where were these items recovered from?
These were at photo marker 20 to know where in the vehicle they were collected. I would have to refer back and forth.
Understood. So after those photos were taken, I want to now move on to the items that you actually collected.
Well, there was a lot in that car, guys. You gotta think about it, they were young. It was a lot of stuff in the car. So I think that's why there's so much. They pulled everything out of Sorry about that. They pulled everything out of the car and documented everything from the car.
This is probably a good time to break for lunch. So remember the admonition we gave you previously, you are not to discuss the case break, obviously you're not allowed to discuss the period. Your examination of Mr. Carter.
Thank you. Okay, Investigator Carter, we talked a little bit about some of the swabs that you collected. With permission, may I approach?
Yes.
It's been previously shown to defense and marked as states FF for identification purposes only. Do you recognize that packaging?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize that packaging?
It is the packaging for evidence of the Miramar Police Department in my handwriting.
And the items that are indicated on the front of that, are those items you collected yourself?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Now, did you see me cutting them open as you were sitting on the witness stand just a couple of moments ago?
Yes, I did.
So if you take an opportunity to look at the 2 items that are inside, and
So
you can go,
Yes.
these 2 gloves are there. Don't put them in the picture yet. Review them, see if they're and are those in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected them on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, they are.
Here at this time, the state requesting the state's FF into evidence and permission to publish.
Any objection? No. They'll be admitted.
States FF will be moved to states 32.
Thank you.
And investigator Carter, do you still have those gloves on? Ah, sorry. Could I bother you to come here so we can do it on the screen so everybody can see? With your permission, maybe we can step down here.
You may sit down.
G or item number.
The G number is G65. It is the swabs from the rear driver's side door handle exterior of the Jeep Billhawk.
Okay, and is there identifying information to show what the tag number was and the Miramar case number on each of these?
On the swab box, yes, the case number is noted there.
Okay. And could you translate the time, please, to normal time for military?
That would be 5:30.
Okay. And if you would publish the second swab that is in there.
This would be G64.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't hear.
G64.
Thank you.
And the UV swabs from the front driver's side door handle exterior of the Jeep.
Again, is it the same tag number that was on the photos that you took earlier?
Yes.
And is it the same time that you collected the other one?
Just before the
Speak up
Yep,
just a little
speak
bit
up.
louder to
It was before the other one.
Okay. And if you could put that one back in here. Now, before you leave, on the back of this, there are labels in terms of, does each label have an ID or evidence number or G number on it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You can resume your seat. I will have to ask you to look at a couple more things if you want to keep those gloves on. Okay. I'm now approaching what's been previously shown to defense counsel as states GG for identification purposes only. Do you recognize anything on the outside of this bag?
I do not believe so.
Okay. If you would be so kind as to look inside at the manila envelope, and just look at that, you can take that out, just look at it. Do you recognize the case number on that particular item?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm gonna get you scissors so you can open that one up. Do you recognize that item?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize that item?
It has my name on it and in my handwriting.
Okay, is that in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, it is.
And what is that specific item?
This is a swab box containing swabs from the front driver's side door handle interior of the Jeep.
Okay, if you would place it back in there. And that was composite GG, put it back in there with those other items. Thank you. I'm now approaching with what's been marked as states HH for identification purposes only. Do you recognize that item?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize that item?
It has my name on it and in my handwriting.
And is it in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected it on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, it is.
Here, at this time, the state requesting the state's HH in and permission to publish.
HH only, correct?
HHGG is just foundation at this point.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying not to have Barchi barking in the background because y'all know she's not on her meds. But sorry, I just want to say that happily angry lawyer. Hey, I messaged you on X if you'll respond back to me, and just letting the chat know that this is one of Moontook's other attorneys. He's working pro bono from California, but he's going to come over and talk to us. It was supposed to be today, but you guys know I have to go across town and I'm not going to be back in time. But thank y'all for telling me I was on mute. I'm just trying to prepare for this dog and her barking. Muted as Mel is crazy. Muted as Mel is crazy. But I just wanted to make sure that I at least introduce him to the chat. Please make sure you go subscribe to his channel. He's on X. He's always posting a lot of legal commentary. I think it's an amazing page to follow too. But I just wanted to come in and make sure I introduced him to the chat since I saw he was in here.
Is there any objection? No. It'll be admitted.
Okay. And investigator, if you'd be so kind as to step down again and publish it at the green screen. Thank you.
States HH will be marked states 33.
If you'd be so kind as to publish? And what item number or G number is assigned to this particular item?
This is G67, and this is swabs from the rear driver's side door handle interior of the Jeep.
Okay, and the time of collection on this one?
Would be 5:36
And on what date?
on 10/26,
Okay.
2018.
So crimes. Okay, thank you. Resume your seat. So, investigator Brennan now showing you what's been previously marked as states I for identification purposes only. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
And if you want to look inside and verify that it is what it says it is. Before you take it out.
It's more evidence, y'all. Let's go around, see what this is.
Where did this item come from?
This item came from the rear driver's side floorboard of the vehicle.
Thank you. If you could please place it back in the packaging. Investigator Curran now showing you what's been previously shown to defense and marked for identification purposes only as states JJ. Do you recognize that item?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize that item?
It has my handwriting on it denoting the item that's inside.
Thank you, Miss
Is it? And
Thank you so much for the super chat, Miss Marilyn.
is that, have your evidence seal on it?
Correct.
Is that item in the same or substantially same condition as when you retrieved it on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, it is.
And what is that item?
This item is the one spent casing, the Blazer 40 SMW.
Yeah.
And photo marker 18.
Here at this time, the state is requesting to move states JJ in.
No objection. It'll be admitted.
States JJ will be marked states 35.
And your clerk, I could be so kind to have you step down and publish it. Thank you. Do you recognize the handwriting on the back of that?
Yes, I do.
Whose is that?
That's my handwriting.
Okay. Is that the same casing that you recovered?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you so much. If you could please return it to its packaging. Thank you. Thank you. I'm now showing approaching with what's been previously marked as state KK for identification purposes only. Do you recognize that item?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize that item?
Because it's an item that I photographed within the vehicle.
Okay. And do you want to take a second to open it up, if you would be so kind? And is that item in the same or substantially same condition as when you reported it on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, and what is that item?
This is the Jeep.
Your Honor, this time the state requesting states KK into evidence.
Is there an objection?
No objection.
It'll be admitted.
States KK will be marked states 36.
And would you be so kind just to hold that up for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Investigator Carter, with regards to states LL, I'm showing you for identification purposes only. There are multiple envelopes in that heat sealed packaging. Do you recognize your handwriting on any of those?
He's verifying evidence right now.
One moment to confer with the counsel.
Yes.
Oh my God, I think we got about a few hours. Now, Jenny, I did sigh, but that's a possibility. Jenny, I sighed because I said, Lord, they just want Melly to like be that innocent. I don't think that's what happened. See, this is why I keep y'all on mute. I don't think that happened, but that's a plausible explanation. That's a good theory. I can't knock it, Jenny. I don't think that's what happened, but I can't knock you because that really could have happened. That really could have happened. He could have been playing with it, accidentally hit shot Sack, and then shot him in panic. But then your question would be, why did he go for Juvy and not Courtland? Barchi is off her meds. Barch is off her meds, and that's a plausible explanation. But I do think with this case, what I see from people online, I can agree with people who say the prosecution messed this up. The investigation wasn't the best. I can agree with those things, but I just, Courtland, the way he's acted, he has given the police nothing. I mean, I know they have to do their job, but his actions that night, Melly's actions, I can't. Juvy did get shot in the face, And I don't know what happened in that car, but something happened in that car. Something happened. And it just I'm just not inclined to believe. Yeah, he said either way it could have happened. Something happened in the car. But I don't know. Starfish and coffee, don't say that. I just don't believe them. Jenny, why don't you believe that? Why don't you do you think is it hard to believe? Someone put under my TikTok while we're on a pause. Let me tell you what this young lady put under my TikTok yesterday. She said, this video is really just to okay. She said, you'd be surprised. It happened in my hometown. Childhood friends hired 2 people and killed 2 of their own friends. The reasoning was so dumb. I'm not sure about Melly because the case was handled horribly, but it does happen and the reasoning is weird. Never saw it coming. I'm not going to sit here and act like there is not a thought in my head that he did this. Why he did this, I don't know. I don't know. And hopefully as this trial progresses, maybe the state will offer something that would make me go, oh, okay. He probably did it, because right now I wouldn't found him guilty. But of course, y'all know we're on day 2, right? We're on day 2. We've got 16 more, no, not 16. Got 17 more days to go. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to see, because the bigger thing is how long were Cortland and Melly friends, right? And how long was Cortland friends with the other 2? Because Cortland hasn't said anything. He was the driver. If anyone knows what happened in that car outside of Melly, Sack, and Juvy, Cortland knows. Jenny, listen, when they walked out on the studio, Jenny, when we were watching the video, I'm thinking to myself, he like, what happened? Y'all just left the studio and you just said, I'm going to kill my friends tonight. What happened? So if anyone knows what happened, it is Cortland. It is Cortland. If anyone knows what happened, it's it's Cortland. It's Cortland. And I'd like to know what was his relationship with the other 2, because he has not said a word. He's had every opportunity if he wanted to say something. He has not said a word. That's also probably his great lawyer, right? His lawyer telling him you're not going to say anything. But if anyone knows what happened, it's him. Okay, he's reading something. Here we go.
I believe 14.
Approximately how many items did you collect from this vehicle?
I believe 14. That number, 14.
14 items?
Correct.
Okay. And the purpose of collecting those items was to have them processed, correct?
That is correct.
And when we're talking about processing items, we're talking about attempting to get DNA on the items, off the items, correct?
We are trying to collect whatever is on the piece of evidence.
Okay. And you're really looking for either DNA or fingerprints, basically.
Correct.
And the reason for that is so that you can come in here and tell these folks who touched it, because no one has the same fingerprints, correct?
Correct.
Or who may have touched it but left their DNA on it, because no one has the same DNA, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You processed this car the day of the homicides. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
What time did you get to the garage or wherever you were to process this vehicle?
May I refer to my report?
Yes. May I approach again?
At 14:57 hours, I was requested to respond to the,
Translate that.
that would be 2:47, did I say?
I'm bad at that. That's why I became a lawyer.
2:57.
2:57.
Correct.
And what time did you leave, if you recall? Because it seems like you were there several hours.
Good.
9:31 p.m. is when I cleared the garage.
So how many hours was that, sir?
Okay.
From 2:57 to 9:30, you said?
2:57 to 9:30, about correct.
Okay, so that would be, what, about 7 hours?
About
Give or take a few minutes.
correct.
And you had another fellow officer processing the car, half the car also, correct?
No, she was a crime scene technician, not an officer.
Okay. And she was processing the car also?
That is correct.
She stayed about the same amount of time?
I believe so.
So between the two of you, you spent about 14, 15 hours processing the Jeep?
Correct.
Okay. And the purpose of that was so that you could collect all the evidence that could help this jury decide who was in that car and who may have been involved, correct?
That's correct.
And one of the items you collected was a rental agreement, which you testified to, I think belonged to Jameson Francois, correct?
That is correct.
He is the person who rented the vehicle, according to those documents, correct?
The vehicle listed on the documents.
And that was the Jeep that you spent about 15 hours processing, correct?
I believe the paperwork showed another vehicle, not the Jeep.
The lighter that you destroyed, you, of course, processed that to see who touched the light before you destroyed it, correct?
That is correct.
Now, when you collect an item, do you use a different pair of gloves for each item?
That's correct.
And what is the purpose of that?
The purpose is to not cross-contaminate items.
So you must have used quite a few gloves going through the Jeep in these 15 hours, I assume, correct?
Yes.
And you did a thorough search of this Jeep from the front all the way to the back, correct?
Correct.
Are you aware of any other officers or CSI or any detectives going back to that vehicle and searching it again?
Not that I recall.
And you mentioned something about swabbing certain items. Did I hear you correctly?
Correct.
And that was, again, to look for DNA on those particular items, correct?
Correct.
And each time you did a swabbing of an item, you took the old gloves off and you put the new gloves on, correct?
That's correct.
And when you collected the Gatorade bottle and the various items, each time you collected the Gatorade bottle, you used a pair of gloves, then on the water bottle, you used a different pair of gloves, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Fair enough. You also mentioned something about latent fingerprints. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, a latent fingerprint is something that usually is not visible to the eye, correct?
With a blue lighting, you can see sometimes on some surfaces.
But normally, a latent fingerprint you're looking for is a print that's not visible to the naked eye, correct?
Not fully correct.
Okay, correct me. Where am I wrong?
I was saying if you use a blue lighting on certain surfaces, a latent fingerprint can be visible.
Okay. As a lay citizen, if I'm not carrying a blue light, would you see the fingerprint on a particular eye?
What item are we talking about?
Any eye. If it's a latent fingerprint, would you see the fingerprint if I didn't have the blue light?
Yes.
You could. What we're talking about is if I touch this jury rail like this, you could process it even though we don't see any fingerprints. And you could lift possibly a fingerprint or an impression of a fingerprint from it, correct?
That's correct.
And then you could take this and say, guess what? Stu touched this. That's me, by the way. Correct?
Correct.
And that's what you're looking for.
Correct.
Oh. You don't do the comparisons.
No, I do not.
Someone else does.
Correct.
And that's why there are these various bags.
Repeat that, sorry.
That's why they're in these various evidence bags, because they're sent to someone else to do the processing for latent fingerprints and DNA, right?
Correct.
When you left, after you and your fellow workers spent about 15 hours going over this car, you collected all physical evidence and processed that car complete, right?
Correct.
You were never asked to go back to that vehicle?
Not that I recall.
I gotta ask you one other question, if I may. There was a photograph in Exhibit 30 that displayed Detective Moretti reading the search warrant. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Who is he reading?
To us.
You.
Correct.
And he read it from start to finish?
Correct.
May I have one moment for us? Thank you so much for that.
Are we redirecting this witness?
Yes.
Hold on one second, excuse me.
Restroom, Judge?
All right, we need a restroom break. Ladies and gentlemen, put down your notepads. Remember the admonition, do not discuss the case.
I heard you guys, not you guys, Zach, when you were talking about they may have messed up something with the gloves. I thought that was going to come out. Is that what you guys got from it? Because just listening to several crime scene investigators, it seemed like that's the proper protocol to change your gloves after each time so that you don't cross-contaminate. So, yeah. Oh, Ronnie, I was wondering this same thing. So, yeah, I didn't... See, every time I turn this thing off mute, here she goes. But hold on just a second. I'm gonna move forward. But I didn't hear that. I think I don't know what his lawyer was getting with that. But from my understanding, that's the proper procedure. But of course, I'm not CSI, so there's that too. Okay, they're gonna take a restroom break. I don't think he's gonna be on there long. Okay.
Then jump back, please be seated. Let the record once again reflect the presence of the defendant, judges, the counsel, the assistant state attorney, the government jury, or witness. Ms. Carter, remains on the stand. Counsel, if you want to commence with your redirect examination.
Yes, Your Honor. So Investigator Carter, drawing your attention to States 30. You indicated in questioning by defense counsel, you believe that a different type of car was indicated on this rental agreement?
That is correct.
And was the vehicle that you analyzed a 2018 Jeep Compass?
Yes,
The vehicle that's listed on this enterprise receipt in the name of James and Francois is what?
2018 Nissan.
Counsel asked you about being able to see fingerprints with the naked eye, and said something about a blue light. Did you say blue?
I did not.
What did you say?
I said oblique lighting.
And can you explain what oblique lighting is to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Oblique lighting is when you pass light over a surface, say this countertop, and say the possible latent fingerprints on this countertop. If you pass a light at an angle that is almost parallel with the surface, the oils are visible, the dips and valleys of the oils are visible to the naked eye, much like if you look at your cell phone screen, you can see fingerprints with the oil of your skin.
So can you explain to ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what is a latent print impression?
A latent fingerprint impression is a fingerprint that is either unviewable to the naked eye or mostly viewable, which is then processed to be able to view better.
And what do you do to process it to make it view better?
You can use several different types of chemicals or processes. The most common is black fingerprint powder.
When a fingerprint is collected, can you put a timestamp on when it arrived on a surface?
No, I cannot.
Is there things that you take into account into environmental conditions as to whether or not you would find it?
Objection, lady.
Is overruled. You can answer.
Is there,
Sorry, can you repeat that?
is there any environmental conditions you take into account when trying to process for fingerprints?
Yes, when a fingerprint, when a surface is wet, possibly with humidity, different processes could be used to collect those fingerprints. Black fingerprint powder does not work on wet surfaces, and you can use what's called SPR, also known as small particle reagent, which is then sprayed over a surface, which then adheres to the oils on the wet surface.
With regards to talking about surfaces, can you explain to ladies and gentlemen of the jury which surfaces are ideal and which are less than ideal for recovering fingerprints?
The best surface that you can add to recover fingerprints would be a smooth, non-porous surface, and other surfaces that are porous can be processed for latent prints, but requires extra chemicals and different processes than would be for a smooth surface.
What about fabric?
Fabric? Yeah.
CSI's wrong on that?
Sorry?
CSI, the TV show's wrong on that?
Sometimes.
With regards to DNA, can we see DNA with the naked eye?
No, you cannot.
So how do you determine what areas to process?
The different areas you go through the process of elimination on the thought process of what is possibly been touched. I am taking swabs to see if there's DNA or there is no DNA. And you are merely collecting what is there.
In terms of the other evidence in this case, have you reviewed a surveillance footage before you collected the DNA swabs in this case?
No, I didn't.
Have you ever seen surveillance footage of anything in this case?
Objection beyond the scope.
Overruled.
So have you ever seen the surveillance footage in this case?
No.
No?
No.
Nothing else, Shannon?
Anything else to this witness? No?
Yeah.
Is he excused? Thank you very much, sir. You may step down, you're excused. For your next witness.
First of all, yeah, I'm gonna say it again. The fact that they're rolling through these witnesses like this is crazy because he's like, call your next witness. He gets one off the stand and another one right back on the stand. But from him, we saw the crime scene photos. I think that's about it. We see how gruesome the crime scene was. That's about what we got from him. So we're gonna skip ahead to the next. Okay, this is the next witness.
This is our witness stand over here. Come on up, please. When you get your witness stand, you put your things down. Just remain standing for a bit. Raise your right hand.
Veitra said right now, so it's probably gonna become a mess.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your full legal name for the record.
Tara Carroll,
Please spell your first and last name for the court reporter.
TARACARR.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Ms. Carroll, that microphone in front of you will only adjust up or down. It doesn't move back and forth, all right?
Okay, thank you.
You're all set?
All set.
Counsel, if you're ready, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Carroll. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Where do you work?
At Miramar Police Department.
How long have you worked with Miramar Police Department?
I've been there now almost 7 years.
And what do you do with the Miramar Police Department?
I am a certified crime scene investigator.
Can you explain a little bit about the background and education that you have to become a certified crime scene investigator?
Yes, ma'am. I have my degree in crime scene technology. And then once on board with Miramar, we take quite a few trainings throughout our employment. I also became certified with IAI in 2019, which required another training as well.
Okay, so I want to go through some of the training that you've done over the years.
Okay.
Starting in 2012, was that part of your degree that you talked about?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what years did you attend and what college did you attend to get your degree?
That was Kaiser University, and it was 2012 to 2014. And we took what was considered core classes. So those were all hands-on training classes.
Were all of your courses at Kaiser University with regards to crime scene and forensics?
Most of them, yes.
Once you were employed with the Miramar Police Department, you said you did continuing training.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you attend classes in crime scene reconstruction?
I did.
Did you attend classes in bloodstain documentation collection methods?
Yes, ma'am.
Firearms and tool marks?
Yes.
Collecting footwear and tire impressions?
Yes.
Latent fingerprints and
Yes.
fingerprint identification?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do crime scene imaging?
I did.
Did you attend classes with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Incident Command?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you conduct new hire training with crime scene when you first came on to Miramar?
A couple of years in, then I would train some of our new hires.
Explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what that first initial crime scene training is.
Training the,
At Miramar, when you first came on, what were you trained in, processes, procedures?
okay, yes, we were trained in documenting, processing, and collecting evidence, but it was a 4-month training. So we basically shadowed whoever was working that day, and we were on 24/7 on call for 4 months straight.
So with regards to that, the individual that you were shadowing, do you recall who that was?
It was a couple different people, my supervisor, Michael Kelly, my coworker, Lisa Cruz.
And so with regards, you said Michael Kelly is your supervisor.
Yes, ma'am.
Has he been your supervisor the entire time you've been in crime scene?
He has.
After you finished your training, did you then begin casework as a crime scene investigator?
I did, at that time, I was considered a crime scene technician. until I was certified and then became a crime scene investigator.
So what's the difference between a crime scene technician and a crime scene investigator?
It is the certification. It's a actually worldwide certification through the International Association of Identification. It's a prestigious forensic network.
And with the International Association of Identification, is there proficiency testing that is done?
What do you mean by proficiency?
Do you have to take coursework and show that you are able to do the work that you are certified?
Oh, absolutely, yes. We had to have a certain amount of training hours. I believe it was maybe 120 of their certified trainings. And then you also had 2 college textbooks, pretty big books that we were tested on. We had 100 question tests as well.
As a crime scene technician or crime scene investigator, are you a sworn law enforcement officer?
No, ma'am.
Are you a civilian employee?
Yes, I am.
I want to draw your attention back to October 26th of 2018.
Okay.
Did you have an occasion to become involved in the investigation of the Miramar case number 18-10-06269?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your role?
I became involved, I believe it was the day after, when there was a search warrant obtained for a gray Jeep.
Ms. O'Shea?
It was beyond, I apologize, I'm running the wrong button.
Okay, going back to October 26th of 2018, were you asked to assist crime scene technician or crime scene investigator Christopher Carter executing a search warrant?
Yes,
When you got that call and you responded to the West substation, what were you assigned to do?
I was assigned to assist him in processing the vehicle.
Did you collect swabs of DNA?
I did.
What side of the car were you responsible for?
I was responsible for the passenger side of the vehicle.
Did you also collect latent fingerprints?
I did.
And what side of the car were you responsible for the latent fingerprints?
That was the driver's side of the latent.
While you are on scene and processing the items that you collected, are you taking photographs on scene during the search warrant of the Jeep?
Christopher was taking the photographs, yes.
That was your job to take photographs at the lab?
Yes, I took photographs of whatever I collected.
And so is there a specific reason why you take your photographs and he takes his?
We've always done it that way, that's just the policy.
Okay. Showing defense counsel that previously had an opportunity to go through, states MM for identification purposes. Investigator Carroll, did you have an opportunity to review the photos in the USB here prior to coming into court?
I did.
Did those photos fairly and accurately depict the items that you processed at the lab after they were collected?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know that those photos are the same that's on that USB?
Because I initialed the USB.
Here at this time, the state would request to move states MM into evidence and publish to the jury.
Is there any objection?
No objections.
They'll be admitted. How many photographs are there, Counsel?
Just one moment, Your Honor, I think 37, but I'm going off memory.
States MM, Mark states.
She's the second tech that was there when he said she was with.
24, I apologize, 24 photos.
Positive 24 photographs. Thank you. Thank you, Counsel.
I got it.
That's a big part.
So that you can see the image in front of you on the screen as well.
Yes.
Okay. So the item one that's on there. What's the purpose of that item one?
One would be the photo marker, so that would explain, once you look back at the photos of the search warrant, every piece of evidence that was collected is marked with a number. So you would see a cone or some sort of photo marker, so that's what was, noted as photo marker one.
The liquids that are in these bottles, are they maintained by the Miramar Police Department?
No, so we did, I believe there was a sample of the liquid taken out of the Zephyr Hills bottle, but no, we don't submit liquids to property and evidence.
Going on to the next photo, this was found at what photo marker?
At number 2,
Moving on to photo marker number 3,
yes, ma'am.
where this was found in what area of the Jeep?
May I refer to my report?
Please, if that would help, or refresh your recollection.
Number 3 was found on the front passenger side floorboard.
Item number 3, still looking at that same number, what is this photo showing?
Usually we'll photograph the front side and then again the back side.
The green leafy substance that is visible in this photograph, was that submitted for testing at the Broward Sheriff's Office Crime Lab?
Yes, ma'am.
Going on to item number 4. Were these items collected from that same Jeep?
From the same Jeep, yes, ma'am.
And in terms of the receipt, are you familiar with the Fountains of Miramar?
I am.
And the Chick-fil-A indication restaurant on the top of that. Can you describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury where that is in the city of Miramar?
If I'm correct, the office would be out west. I'm not exactly sure the names of the streets.
Okay. And in terms of the date and time on this receipt, is this clearly and accurately depict this photograph, how the receipt looked when you collected it on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what date is on there?
October 25th, 2018 at 11:20 a.m.
Okay. On item number 4, you indicated this would be the backside of any of those items.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 5, is this depict how you found this in the Jeep?
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 6,
Yes.
and do you recall where these were found, this item?
I believe it was in the, like the cubby of where the handle on the door was.
Item number 7,
Yes.
what are we looking at in item number 7?
That would be a projectile.
Item number 8, do you recall collecting these items?
I do.
And where were they found? Do you need to refresh your
Yes.
recollection? If there's anything that would, please do so silently to yourself and look up when you're done.
You know, I'm sorry, I don't have listed the location of that. It was on the passenger side, I just, I would have to see an overall photo from Regina for sure.
So in terms of wherever photo marker number 8 was,
Yes,
the yellow cone or placard.
exactly, exactly.
The green leafy substance in this one by photo number 8, was that also sent to the Broward Sheriff's Office Crime Lab for analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, we stipulate that that's marijuana, just, we could move it on.
So then, in terms of that, that's stipulated to the introduction of state LL.
I stipulate that it's marijuana. I didn't stipulate to its introduction. I object to its relevance.
So with regards to,
Just a sidebar, please, Rick.
Did y'all hear them? It sounds like Melly's lawyers. He's sick of her trying to have people explain the green leafy substance. He's like, listen, we agree it's weed. It's marijuana. Just say marijuana. Why are they? I want y'all to listen to their exchange.
the green leafy substance in this one by photo number 8, was that also sent to the Broward Sheriff's Office Crime Lab for analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we stipulate that that's marijuana. Just we could move it on.
So then, in terms of that, that's stipulate to the introduction states LL.
I stipulate that it's marijuana. I didn't stipulate to its introduction. I object to its relevance.
So with regards to,
Just a sidebar, please, Rick.
She was just going to keep talking. Like, Bradley was just going to keep going.
Bradley was just going to keep going. He said, don't be slick.
He said, don't be sick.
One second. Now,
But not as much. Don't be sick, Christine.
ladies and gentlemen, when lawyers or parties agree that certain facts are true, that is called a stipulation of fact. You must accept stipulated facts as having been proven. However, the significance of these facts, as with all facts, is up for you to decide. In this case, the stipulated fact that you must accept as true is that the item in marker 8 is cannabis. The green leafy substance is cannabis or marijuana. Is that
Thanks.
correct stipulation, counsel?
That is correct, sir.
State,
so accepted, Your Honor.
thank you.
Okay, moving on to photo marker number 9. Did you document in your report where photo marker number 9 was?
Rear passenger floorboard.
Okay. The item that we're looking at here, what is this?
Cell phone with a cover.
Did you collect and process items 10?
I did.
Item 11?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 21?
Yes.
Are you able to preserve item 21 at the Miramar Police Department Property and Evidence Unit?
No, we're not.
Why?
Because it's a flammable substance and it can't be checked into evidence.
Prior to checking it into evidence, do you process any such items?
I do.
How so?
Depending on the item and what is requested of us, usually we'll swab it for DNA or fingerprint.
Moving on to item 22 and 23, these are processed and collected. What is item number 24?
That would also be a projectile.
And which side of the car does this projectile come from?
Okay.
If you need to refer to your notes, please do so. Want to make sure you're accurate.
Okay, this one was on the driver's floorboard underneath the pedals.
So this is now item 25. What are we looking at here?
Yes, ma'am. This was a combination of items that were found in the bucket behind the seat. May I look at my report
Please,
again?
if you need to.
Behind the front passenger seat.
The phone that we're looking at in this photo, was it turned on?
I don't know.
Was there any damage to that phone?
I don't recall it. It doesn't appear so. from the back shot.
Okay. And then going on to item 27.
Okay.
Did you recover that item?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall what part of the car that projectile was recovered from?
I'm pretty sure that was inside of the seat.
And if you want to verify, take a
Yes,
moment and refresh
please.
my recollection, please do.
Removed from the inside of the rear passenger side seat.
With regards to the processing
Yes.
for DNA, did you do that on October 30th of 2018?
Yes, I did.
The photographs that we just went through, were those taken on October 31st of 2018? And if would looking at the data on the phone or on the photos themselves on the screen help you?
Oh, yes. There you go. Yes, ma'am.
So after you took those photos and you documented all of those items, did you then try and process items for latent prints that were recovered from the car?
Yes.
How do you do that?
To process for latent prints, we will usually start with a fresh pair of gloves. I'll place the item on a fresh pair of piece of butcher paper. And then we use lid PV, black powder, and fiberglass brush.
And in terms of once you get the latents, what do you do to determine whether they are of value or not of value?
Okay, so once we lift them, and we'll place them on a lift card, which has the information on the back, the print on the front, then I'll usually pass it by my supervisor, see if he thinks it's a good enough quality to submit. And as long as he agrees, then we submit it to the DSO lab for analysis.
Does the Miramar Police Department do any in-house fingerprint analysis?
No.
In terms of, in this case, did you process all of the little blue round containers containing cannabis?
I processed the ones that we showed here, yes, in the pictures.
And in terms of finding latent prints, any that you found would have been submitted?
May I look at my report again?
She's perfect for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm gonna go forward to February 6th of 2019.
Okay,
On that date, did you collect glass from the Jeep?
I did.
What was the purpose of collecting the glass?
There was glass found at a scene out on US 27. So in order to determine that it was the same glass that came from the Jeep, they had collected that glass from the scene, and I went to collect the glass from the Jeep, from different parts of the Jeep, so then we could then send it off to FDLE for analysis.
So I want to start with showing you what's been previously marked as states in for identification purposes. What's been previously shown to the fence prior to Okay, showing you what's been previously marked as states in for identification purposes and shown to defense counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize those items?
I do.
How do you recognize those items?
It's my handwriting.
Are they what are they?
They are the latent lift cards from the vehicle. So those would be the actual cards that I told you that the print would be on the front and information on the back.
And are they in the same or substantially same condition as when you lifted them on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Here at this time, the state would request new states into evidence.
No objections, sir.
They'll be admitted.
States in will be marked states 38.
And approach with what's been previously shown as states LL. Do you recognize the items in states LL?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they in the same or substantially same condition when you collected them on October 26th of 2018?
Yes.
The heat sealed packaging with the green label on that, is that done by the Miramar Police Department?
No, it's not.
The other items inside, are they in the same or substantially same condition as when you recovered them?
Yes, ma'am.
Here at this time, the state would request to move states LL into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
They'll be admitted.
States LL will be marked states 39.
Approaching, showing you what's been previously shown to defense counsel and labeled for identification purposes only as states O. Do you recognize that?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
That appears to be latent, the cards.
Are those in your handwriting?
Yes, it is.
Are they in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected them on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Here at this time, the state would request to move states OO into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
They'll be admitted.
States OO will be marked states 40.
Now showing defense counsel what's been previously marked as states P for identification. Showing you now, Ms. Carroll, what's been marked as states PP for identification purposes only. Do you recognize that?
I do.
How do you recognize that?
It's also in my handwriting.
And is that item something you collected?
It is.
What is it?
There was a rental agreement for the Jeep and another receipt for a phone repair out of the glove box of the Jeep.
And are they in the same or substantially same condition as when you recovered them?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at this time, the state would request to move states P into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
They'll be admitted.
States P will be marked states 41.
Showing counsel what's been marked as states Q. Investigator Carroll, showing you what's been marked as states Q for identification purposes only. Do you recognize that?
I do.
How do you recognize that?
Also my handwriting.
What are those items?
These would be collection tins full of the glass fragments from the Jeep, from the separate areas of the Jeep.
Are those in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected them in November of 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Or I'm sorry, February
February,
2019. My apologies. Your Honor, at this time, the state would request to move states Q in.
No objections.
It'll be admitted.
That's a composite of 3.
States QQ will be marked states
Are they gonna
42.
start? I'm trying to see. Okay, they're gonna start showing us the evidence. I said, I think it's significant. Starfish, how has the Karina Cooper case been? I've seen some shit. What's some
Thank you. Just that. Is there an item number on each of these?
Yes, there is.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the item or group number is that's indicated on each of these property stickers?
The group number is basically just the item number. So each individual item that we collect gets an item number when it's put into property maintenance.
Are these stickers generated by property and evidence of the Miramar Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you could start with, and this is item number, you have it as 27. And would that correspond with the item number on your property receipt?
Yes, it would, and that's the photo marker number as well.
Okay. Maybe so
Alice,
kind
what's
as to
that case
publish,
about?
and then inside of it as well? And so 27, that was the rear seat projectile.
Yes.
Okay.
Inside.
Thank you. If you just want to move that one, close that one, so they don't get confused, and you put that up to the side, go to the next one. And you show which this projectile is.
This is number 7, and that would be from the rear passenger floorboard.
Okay, be so kind as to open that up. Thank you. And what item is this?
This is number 24, projectile front driver's side floorboard under the pedals.
Thank you so much. And if we could repackage those.
Oh, okay. I knew something was his.
And then next, if you would be so kind as to open the latent. And could you just pick one to show as a demonstrative to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the latent cards look like?
Sure. So this would be the front of the card with the tape where the actual lift happened. And we always initial down at the bottom. And then on the back of the card would give you the information, the date and time it was lifted, the address, and where it was lifted from.
Okay. And that would be the same for what's in the States 40 as well?
Yes.
Would you be so kind as to show those?
Sure.
Is there any rhyme or reason as to the different sizes of the latent print cards?
Well, usually the larger cards would be used if there's maybe a couple fingers or something that would be larger than this actual card.
And be so kind, and again, to show on the smaller version how it's done.
Yes, so this would be the front with the tape. And the back with the information.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I will put that in there. Thank you. Okay. Please resume your seat. Thank you.
Alice, it's a ponytail. It's got coloring. I think she's got her hair blonde in the front, down in the back. So it's a ponytail.
So, Ms. Carroll, I'm going to go forward to March 1st of 2019.
Okay.
Were you asked to process a cell phone that was recovered here at the courthouse?
Yes, I was.
On March 1st of 2019, I'm sorry, the iPhone that you were, or the phone that you were requested to process, what type of phone was it?
May I look at my report?
Yes.
It was a Apple iPhone X, gold, rose, and color.
Did it have a distinctive serial number on that phone?
It did.
And what was that serial number?
It's FFNXV1VPHF.
When you were provided that phone, what were you asked to analyze on it?
I was requested to both photograph and then process it for possible blood.
Did you do that?
I did.
With regards to the blood testing, what type of testing did you do?
I did Blue Star
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what is Blue Star?
Yes, Blue Star latent blood reagent. It's a chemical that we could spray on something that we presume may have had blood at one time. It could have even possibly been cleaned up. And if there was a presence of blood, it reacts with the hemoglobin, different chemicals, maybe with amino acids in the blood, and it fluoresces.
This rose gold iPhone X ending with the serial number of 1VPHF. Did it have any fluorescence or glow?
The results were negative.
With regards to the DNA swabs that were collected, does the Miramar Police Department do any in-house DNA processing?
No, ma'am.
One moment to confer with co-counsel.
Yes.
So I want to go back to November 28th, 2019.
Okay,
Were you present for a trajectory analysis?
I was.
In terms of your role in that analysis, what did you do?
I just assisted with placing the trajectory rods as well as labeling the rods to show the path of the bullets.
With regards to determinations of things on the outside of the car, what were you trying to establish?
The outside of the car, we were trying to establish basically, an approximate height of a shooter, as well as if there was any angles or exactly how the bullets hit the bone.
Did you do a shooting reconstruction?
No.
Is there a difference between those two?
Yes.
Are you trained and able to do a shooting reconstruction?
I am not trained for it, and we do not have.
But this happens all the time, though.
So going on to later on in this investigation, have you had a chance to see that vehicle again since that processing?
Yes.
And were you made aware that additional agencies assisted in investigating that vehicle?
I was, yes.
Other projectiles were recovered that were not from the Miramar Police Department. Were you aware of that?
I was, yes.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury why the Miramar Police Department couldn't get those projectiles out of the car?
Yes, in certain situations like that, you may have to take the car apart, basically, and we just simply don't have the type of equipment that would be needed for that.
Other than what we've talked about so far, does that complete and describe your involvement in the investigation in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you, counsel. Any cross-examination this witness?
Yes, sir, I'd just like to clarify a few things. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Let me start where you ended. Ms. Bradley alerted you to the fact that there were some projectiles that were recovered from the vehicle that you had not recovered during your processing of the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
And
My
did
character.
you find them? And just when you processed the vehicle, you found them, but you weren't able to recover. Is that what we're to understand?
No, we collected everything we found.
Okay. So you didn't find it. It's not a situation where you found the existence of the projectiles, made note of them, but were unable to recover. You just didn't find them.
We didn't find them. We documented all the holes.
Oh, you did.
But we did not go into the metal or the, tear apart the seats looking for them, yes.
Okay. But if you,
Hey, Ms. Bree.
so you're saying the projectiles that you did not find were in holes, the existence of which you documented?
I'm assuming, I'm not positive about that.
Right. You don't even know that you found the hole that the projectiles were found. You can't say that.
No, I mean, they would obviously have to be in one of the holes, but I would not know which holes.
Right, you might have missed those perforations altogether, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know if that we did miss any, but it is possible.
So you can't really help to educate us on how thorough your processing was because you don't even know where the projectiles came from that you did not find.
No.
Okay, because of course, if you saw a perforation in
Missed
a
evidence.
part of the vehicle where a projectile obviously went into,
Right.
but you didn't see an exit, you would assume it was still in there, right?
Yes, but they can ricochet around the vehicle as well. That doesn't always mean that's the exit.
Sorry, I might have misspoke. You would speculate that maybe it's still in there.
Yes.
And since your department lacked the ability to take the vehicle apart, you would have alerted your supervisor, prosecutor, BSO to the fact that there is a perforation that we observed, but we lack the ability and technology to fully investigate, and therefore, in order to make sure that there is a complete investigation, please look into that. You would have done it, right? If you saw it.
We just document what we see. Like, I'm not the one that would be reporting that to anybody. So, yeah, we would just take photographs of what we see and place the rods in those areas.
Okay, so this would be kind of a not my job situation. I took a picture of a hole, something might be in there, but let somebody else figure out whether to go check them, right?
That's what it sounded like she said to me.
I mean,
Right.
That's what it sounded like she said to me.
I noticed that in various parts throughout your report,
Okay.
it indicates the sentence begins before it lists the items that you retrieved using a fresh set of latex gloves, right?
Yes, sir.
That's because you use a fresh set of latex gloves for each particular item that you retrieve?
Not necessarily. If the items that we're collecting are grouped together in a group, then that's usually the same set of gloves they're already touching.
Oh.
If I'm changing areas, then yes, I will change my gloves.
Okay, so if you put on a set of latex gloves, let's take, for example, we saw a photograph that juxtaposed condoms with a Bible.
Okay.
Unholy matrimony, right?
Okay.
And you found them in the same location, that's why you took them in the same photo?
Yes, sir.
And you were presuming, therefore, that the same person put the Bible in there and the condoms in there? Or were you risking contaminating them by using the same gloves to retrieve them?
They were all already grouped together, touching, so if there was any contamination to be done, it would have already happened. They were all bound together in the same place.
Okay, so you're telling me that all of those items were touching each other?
Yeah, it was in the back seat.
Not you
pocket.
don't. Girl.
Why does that mean they were touching each other?
They were all grouped
Zach, I
together
remember this.
Okay,
in
so you
the
don't,
pocket.
no, I'm sorry.
They were all grouped together in the pocket when I pulled them out.
So you don't have a photograph depicting them as you observed them touching each other? You're just assuming maybe they were since they're all in the same pocket, right?
I mean, I would assume there was a photograph. I don't know, I didn't take the photographs that day.
Okay, well, let's talk about items. Are you saying that you only change gloves for individual items when they exist in a contained compartment such that they may all be touching each other?
No, if they're all touching each other, if they're in a group, like if you had a pile of bloody clothes, I'm not gonna change my gloves in between each item of clothing because they're sitting on top of each other.
Okay.
But if there was a pile here and a pile over there, then yes, I would change my gloves in between this pile and that pile.
So are you saying on the oath that the only time that you do not change your latex gloves when you're retrieving items if you observe them physically touching each other? Is that what you're saying?
That's usually the policy, yes,
But that's not,
that I follow every time.
okay, because that, sorry to belabor the point, but what I thought I had heard you say is that if items are in the same area,
Right.
you may not necessarily change your gloves, right?
Right, yes, if they're found in the same area, grouped together.
Okay, that's what you meant to say, in the same area, grouped together such that they're touching?
That's what I thought I said, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay, and that's the only time that you didn't change your gloves in this case?
I mean, I don't really recall exactly. I follow the same procedures every time.
So you can contaminate all of them.
Yes.
Okay. I have here, do you have your reports with you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Could you reference the one that indicates the activity in which you're engaged on October the 26th of 2018?
Okay.
My edge.
Now, this refers to your retrieving latents, right? Not retrieving items.
Okay.
Am I right about that? I think I may have the wrong one.
I think I might be
From
wrong.
October 26th of the Jeep you're
Yes.
talking about? It's everything. The latents, the swabs, the collection of items.
Okay. And recovery of items as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and in every instance in your report where it says using a fresh pair of latex gloves would document each instance in which you did so, and that was the purpose of your making that notation. Is that correct?
I change them often in between. I may not note every single time I've changed them. We usually have a couple different pair on and I'll just take them off. I don't know, I just don't.
Oh,
I could change them 20 times throughout. I just don't notate every single time.
I get the not.
Is that what you're saying happened here?
You telling me?
I honestly don't recall what happened or how many times I changed my gloves. It was quite a while ago.
Let me ask you this, what's the point of making a notation of the fact that you used a fresh pair of latex gloves? What was your intention
Objection,
of making that notation?
Mrs. Stain, objection, answer the question.
Okay, well, you would agree with me that if you changed your gloves on 20 occasions and made note of it 5 times, that would be a bit odd, right?
I don't know. I mean, we've always
Tell me I don't know.
written our reports that way, so I don't know exactly what you're asking. Would it be odd that I listed it 5 times?
But changed it 20 times.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I used the wrong word. You would agree with me, it might be a little bit
He's so
misleading.
nice. Maybe I used the wrong word.
No, I don't think so.
So you just thought to note it sometimes and sometimes you didn't?
I noted it in between each different job that I did. So it's noted before collection of items, it's noted before collecting DNA, and it's also noted before collecting fingerprints.
Okay, let me direct your attention to the second page of your report.
Sure.
Halfway down the page, it says, using a fresh pair of latex gloves, I collected the following items from the gray Jeep.
Right.
Zephyr Hills water bottle.
Objection, Your Honor,
Sustained.
property.
Okay. Did you recover a Zephyr Hills water bottle?
I did?
And did you do it using a fresh pair of latex gloves?
Oh, no.
Yes, that was the first item I collected.
And then I think we saw in the photograph also a small Sutter Home white Zinfandel bottle. You
Yes.
collected that as well?
Yes.
Did you change your gloves between collecting those two items?
I don't honestly remember, but seeing how they were both in the passenger side door pocket, I'm not sure. It looks like they came from the same place.
Okay. And there was a small bottle of black bomb scent, bomb fragrance that you also retrieved,
Okay?
among other items, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were saying that you really can't attest that you changed your gloves on each occasion, right?
In between each area, I can tell you, yes, I did. But I can't tell you how many times now.
Okay. But you would agree with me that if you don't change your gloves, there is a risk, however small, however great, of cross-contamination.
He's annoyed
You would
too.
agree with that?
Sure.
Hey,
And
T.
that risk may have manifested in this case, you can't attest
Objection,
that.
speculation.
Sustained.
You also retrieved some glass from a car.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed that you use latex gloves then.
Yes.
And the purpose of using latex gloves as opposed to any other gloves is because presumably those gloves themselves are sterile, right?
All our gloves are sterile.
Okay. But when you were collecting the glass from the car,
Right.
you put on latex gloves.
Yes.
And then you put on gardening gloves over the latex gloves.
Yes, sir.
And the gardening gloves were sterilized?
I don't remember honestly, but we weren't processing that for DNA.
Okay. So why'd you put the latex gloves on underneath?
So I wouldn't get cut by the glass.
I thought that's why you had the gardening gloves.
Oh, yes, that's why we had the gardening gloves on, I guess just out of habit.
Just have it.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to make sure that was sterile, what you'd have done was you would put the latex gloves on over the gardening gloves, as opposed to the other way around, right?
If you wanted to make sure it was sterile, correct?
Okay, but you did not have an interest in maintaining the sterility of work?
I think so.
Yeah, of the item at that time. That was
No, we weren't testing it for DNA.
okay. And you were telling us, I think, that you tested a phone for the presence of blood.
Yes, sir.
Why would you do that?
I was requested to by the detective.
So, and you were saying you found blood on that?
No, I didn't.
There was no blood on it? Okay. When you conduct an investigation, right?
Yes.
Strike that. When you retrieve items in the course of processing a crime scene,
Yes, sir.
in this case a vehicle,
Okay.
you maintain their integrity for purposes of future testing
Yes.
of DNA, possibly,
Yes.
and fingerprints.
Yes.
And because life tends to leave a trail, right?
Yes.
So if I rub this desk, I might not have left fingerprint because of the manner in which I'm touching it, but maybe I left DNA because of the oil in my hands.
It's possible, yes.
And so if you test that, you might find evidence that I touched it.
Correct.
And so when you do that processing, you do it in order to try and obtain evidence that someone may have touched an item, right?
Yes.
And particularly for fingerprints, smooth surfaces that are non-porous are particularly conducive to leaving fingerprints,
Yes, sir.
such as a water bottle, right?
Yes.
A projectile,
It's a little harder, but yes.
a spent casing, maybe.
Sometimes, yes.
You've analyzed spent casings before.
Yes.
and you've retrieved fingerprints and DNA from them,
I have,
which informed you in the instances in which you have, and were able to identify that somebody, you were able to identify maybe who loaded a firearm.
I have gotten fingerprints off of casings, but never enough to identify somebody.
DNA.
Off a spent casing, I personally have not.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 7 years.
Okay. Like, for example, a water bottle, you retrieved a water bottle or a bottle of iced tea that appears to have been consumed would be a particularly fertile item from which you might retrieve DNA.
DNA, yes,
Somebody was likely putting it to their lips.
exactly.
Okay. So when you
Very
do this kind of processing, an attempt to retrieve information, right? And after all the processing, no information is retrieved of value, then it's kind of a wash, right?
What do you mean?
You went, I'm sorry.
What do you mean it's a wash?
You went in looking to find information which may implicate or identify a certain person, but then when you find no information,
It's considered a no-hit,
it's a no-hit.
yes.
Okay, so it's really of no value.
Yes,
And you don't do the analyses for prints yourself, you send them off,
yes, sir.
and the DNA as well?
Yes, sir.
So you may know the results, but you wouldn't be the right person to ask about that.
No.
Okay. Can I have a minute, Joe?
Yes.
Actually, sorry, before I go, there was a rental agreement that you retrieved?
Yes, sir.
Is that the same rental agreement that the gentleman with whom we were processing the car retrieved? There were 2 rental agreements, right?
I don't know. I'm sorry, do you mind if I look at my report?
Please do.
Their report. You told us you eliminated the crime scene now. So this what bothers me because
I just have that a 2-page rental agreement for Jameson Francois from Enterprise Rental for the Nissan RSPT.
It was a Nissan RSP. That's what you retrieved.
Yes, that's what I will say. And that I found it in the glove box, photo marker number 26.
Can I have a quick question?
Yes.
And gold teeth. That would be another pretty likely fertile DNA item. Something you
Yes.
stick in your mouth all the time.
Yes.
So that was preserved for DNA as well.
I'm assuming, I think that I did swab that at one point. But yes, it would have been preserved.
Okay. You don't need to. You were telling us earlier that you photographed items that you retrieved and the partner with whom you conducted this processing investigation photographed the items that he retrieved?
He did the entire crime scene photos. The items that I collected, I photographed in the lab.
Okay, so in other words, he would have photographed everything, but you would have photographed just those that you retrieved.
Correct.
Okay, makes sense. One moment, please. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any redirect examination of this witness?
Investigator Carroll, how many items were swabbed approximately for DNA in this case?
Oh, okay, a lot. Would you like me to try to count?
Please, if you would.
Okay.
Please,
Do you want just from the Jeep?
The
Or
entire, all the items that were processed, swabs, everything else.
I would only have what I actually swabbed? Okay. I have 15 different items just from the Jeep. I have
Look at the camera going over there.
I had 5 additional items that were swabbed at a later date, but also items found in the Jeep.
Okay. So does the Broward Sheriff's Office process every single DNA swab that you collect?
No.
Why not?
Objection?
Suggestion.
I think that's beyond her scope of knowledge.
Sustain.
So Investigator Carroll, with regards to the DSO crime lab, did they conduct all of the DNA analysis for the Miramar Police Department?
They do the analysis. We were not allowed to submit all these swabs.
Okay. With regards to the gloves on that, do you change between every DNA swab that is collected as policy of the Miramar Police Department?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
I just have one question.
Sure.
Ma'am, when you say you weren't allowed to submit the swabs, was there a rule that permitted you from doing so for like economic reasons or something?
The lab only allows us to do 10 at a time. And then possibly we could have another round of 10. A lot of times we'll need permission from the DNA manager to even submit any more than 10 on a homicide.
Okay. So if there are like maybe 30 relevant DNA swabs that you do, policy on a homicide case says you only are allowed to submit 10, 20 with permission, hardly ever more.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be we could do 10, then we'd have a second round of 10, then you'd be looking at permission. Recently, it's changed a bit, so it's usually up to the lab whether or not they're gonna allow us to submit anymore.
That doesn't sound right.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else in this witness, Counsel?
No, Your Honor.
She excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam, thank you very much. You may step down, Ms. Carroll. You're excused.
Thank you so much.
Well, Aaron, that's
And who's the next witness?
They're here, I just want to 5-minute buffer.
Sure. We take a short recess. Ladies and gentlemen, please note that on the chairs. Remember, you got permission to not discuss the case.
When I'm listening, I was just my questioning was just like, well, if I have all of these samples, would it not be best to let's test everything? How do you decide what gets tested and what doesn't? I thought she was going to get into that, honestly. And she didn't get into that. Hold on, he looks like he might be talking.
Non-law enforcement construct.
And then we would respectfully suggest.
All my jokes are so bad. I'll say it again.
I will say this: when their cameras are not on, when they're not in court, all of them just be talking away. Let's see. Okay.
That's a record on
Right, they had something.
Really? Really?
I remember seeing this clip and I said, what the hell is he doing in court right now? One thing about him, he is going to give you something to talk about while he's in court. I said, do y'all remember when this went viral? Y'all don't remember? Let me play it again. This went viral. This went viral when it happened.
Really? Really?
Ashton, we'll watch it together. What the hell was that? He knows what he's doing. I said that. I said this boy's up here playing in this courtroom.
Counsel and the assistant attorney. Counsel, you're suggesting you include your next witness
Leandra Phillips.
and what she testified to?
He was putting it in the atmosphere. He was putting it in the atmosphere.
The identity of the deceased, Christopher Thomas.
All right, and
May I ask the relationship of Ms. Phillips? We would object on the grounds of that case.
all right, and counsel, the way I read the case earlier, it basically said it's not the preferred method because they're concerned, and I asked you whether you spoke to the witness and concerned about her getting emotional on the stand. You said you did, correct?
Yes, sir, we talked about that, and then what I can also do to alleviate that is have them authenticate the USB and the drive, but not publish it until after they are off the stand.
And counsel also indicated he was objecting not so much that he was concerned about her being emotional, just the effect it would have on the jury, is the way I understood. Is that correct, counsel?
That's correct, sir.
And so he was saying that there's other witnesses available who can testify to basically the same thing. And my recollection at sidebar, you said that you didn't have other, and you put in the words, credible witnesses that would be able to identify the deceit. Is that correct?
That are non-law enforcement, that is correct.
And then we would respectfully suggest that suggests that these two decedents knew nobody in this world except their family, which is hard to believe. And that in itself is not credible contention. The state's been investigating this case for 4 years. This trial is anticipated to last beyond the next few weeks. And we strenuously object to this process being engaged in dereliction or in violation of the case law. Not a case, many cases.
Yeah, I have to pull the case up that I found out of Supreme Court. I believe it was Rodriguez, is the case, State v. Rodriguez. I could be wrong, but that's my recollection. But that also indicated, as a general rule, it didn't say it can never happen, and it also talked about whether there are other credible witnesses that could basically testify to those issues that the alleged victim is dead, one of the elements of proof the state has. So I'll find that case again and just see exactly what it says, but that was my recollection. The second thing, though, is I thought this was resolved by, you made a suggestion to her to stipulate to it, and so we tabled it. That was the understanding that I asked about having the stipulation, when would that be, and when would that happen? And you indicated that after, I guess, the luncheon recess or something, that you had further conversation, and you were not inclined to enter the stipulation after discussing that with your client.
Yes, you're right. Yes, that's correct. And here's the thing, I would think that if that the state would be for there to be a complete record, to be able to put on the record a good faith effort that it made to identify anybody on this planet that knows these two decedents other than their family. Saying we spoke to two people and they declined or couldn't, wouldn't cut it. So I think the record would have to contain an itemization of their efforts before the court draws a conclusion that the only witnesses who would suffice are the ones that the case law discourages.
I'm looking at the case now, so.
I mean, are they trying to have him validate something? Because we know other people come in. Christine, you know it, I know it. And here's the thing, if the case law discourages it, and she knows someone else who knows these young men, Christine, why can't we just work within the bounds of the law? And I get both sides, and this is what I say. This is what I mean when we watch these cases. We're looking at the law, we're looking at the court procedures, and we're trying to understand it as a lay people. And if the case law, the judge is agreeing too, if the case law discourages it, he said, now this is what I love about law too. It doesn't say it can't happen. It just kind of encourages you to avoid it from happening. I love when case law does that because there is wiggle room, right? If this is all she has to do, she's within the right to do that, but it discourages it. So if she could find someone else, which we know she can, then she should do that. Looking at case law, and no one even, y'all didn't even tell me we didn't have the captions on. Sorry. Looks like they're looking at case law regarding this. Let's see.
Need to read it into record. I'm sure the court has.
The one I'm reading is Rodriguez v. State, and it's cited at 919 Southern 2nd, 1252, and it's really just a short paragraph, very generic, but it basically says that's not the preferred method to identify, as long as there's non-related credible witnesses are available to testify as to the identity of the deceased.
Right. And I believe the seminal case is Weltran v. State, 402 Southern 2nd, 1159. It's from 1981. 402? Southern 2nd, 1159.
I apologize. I gotta get out of this.
That's a seminal case, Your Honor, and I would just respect.
402?
Southern 2nd.
Okay, and just to make sure that we're clear, they're just trying to identify the decedents, right? So there's need someone to come on, make sure, yes, this is him. They're going to ask them some questions to verify their identity. I'm sure there was someone, she said outside, she specified law enforcement. So they just need someone else, and they're trying to, they don't want the family to do it because they may get emotional on the stand. They may prejudice the jury with their emotions.
159, Florida, 1981.
Damn, Angelica, stay tuned.
And I would just, as the gatekeeper, Your Honor, if the rule is that a member of a victim's family should not identify a victim at trial where non-related credible witnesses are available to make such identification, I would assume the predicate for making such a determination would be identifying that non-related credible witnesses are indeed unavailable, which would require the state to document its efforts in obtaining.
Come on now. Come on, baby.
I believe that was already put on the record at sidebar as to those efforts that were made.
If that's what they wish to rest on, Your Honor, we would contend that it's insufficient. It was a declarative statement with no detail.
Oh, baby. He knows what she's doing too.
So in this case, though, that you're citing, it basically says, it's clear from the record that the brother's identification testimony was not of such a nature as to evoke the sympathy of the jury or to prejudice the defendant. Nor can we say that the brother's testimony was not necessary to establish the identity of the deceased beyond reasonable doubt. Here, the neutral witness referred to by the Welty were a fingerprint technician who testified that the prints from the victim's right hand matched the prints of Burkhalter on file with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. As a result, in April 1976, DWI arrested Burkhalter, a former member of the Castleberry Police Department who had arrested Burkhalter in 76 for DWI, and who identified Burkhalter from a 1976 mugshot taken at the time of the DWI arrest. Even though Welty was willing to stipulate to the identity of the victim, this did not prevent the state from presenting additional relevant evidence to prove identity beyond a reasonable doubt. We find the trial court did not reversibly err in permitting this testimony.
It's not precluded in instances where it's necessary and they can establish the necessary predicate. They can't do so. And we're also inviting error by taking the risk that unfolds when the state has ample resources and time to go and find a witness that's suitable and comports with proper protocol.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is my thought. I wasn't, as I indicated, I wasn't aware of the rule previously. I've tried many homicide cases, and 90% of the time it's stipulated to, although I have had people testify as to the identity. I'm not certain whether they're family members or not, so I don't want to take that lead. I wasn't familiar with the case, but the case seems clear. It's not the preferred method. Don't do it. They're objecting to it. So at this juncture, I haven't heard exactly what efforts were made. I don't know if there are any other witnesses, so we're just going to table it for now. I want to hear whether or not you can have another witness testify as to a non-related credible witness testify as to the identity of the two victims, Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas. Right?
Yes.
All right, so do you have any other witnesses today?
No.
All right, so we're going to adjourn now. How does this issue with the medical examiner, how's that going to play out?
We will address scheduling on that, moving around witnesses right now for tomorrow. So we will be plenty of witnesses for tomorrow. I'm still juggling people around to fill in some of those gaps.
Awesome. Anything else to discuss, counsel?
No.
Nothing, sir.
All right, just bring the jury in and I'll tell them we're done for the day.
All right, looks like they're going to be done for the day. And if you guys didn't hear, they're going to table this this situation. Situation. They're going to table this just because the judge wants to go back through some of the cases that he has tried. He said he wasn't familiar with the rule, which was funny to hear because he's a judge who he just said he's tried several homicide cases before. He just wasn't aware that this was a rule. He know that they typically avoid it, but didn't know that it was a rule they should be following. So, she said, "Oh, Paige, you've lost your issue right there." Well, Aaron, I think honestly, this day was almost 8 hours. I think this stream is about 7 hours and 52 minutes. So it's not like it was a super short day for them. About 6 hours or so. I don't know what time their court typically ends. I don't know what time their court typically ends, but yeah. So when we come, hopefully we're gonna hear it. Who's going to get on the stand and identify YNW Juvy, YNW Sakchasers as the victims in this homicide. Like, we have their names, we saw opening statements, Christina's called them, but it has to be on the record that these are indeed the victims in this trial. So yes, I am finished at 1:10. I'm gonna go ahead and get off so that I can take care of some things before I have to head across town. But I am going to do a TikTok live tonight because I'm sure you guys are going to want one after you see where I'm going. So I will be back later on TikTok live, maybe I want to say maybe about 8 or 9, somewhere up in there. I'll come back live. But thank you guys so much for all of the super chats. Thank you guys for everything. All of the memberships given to all of my mods. I appreciate you all. Please remember, I'm not going to be live this Saturday because I'm going out of town tomorrow. I'm going out of town tomorrow. But we will pick back up on Monday. I'm sure y'all know I'm gonna talk to y'all this weekend. Because y'all know I'm going by myself, so I'm sure I'm gonna be talking to y'all while I'm in Vegas tomorrow. But I appreciate everything, guys, and I'm gonna see you guys later tonight. I love y'all. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. Go have a good time, baby. Erica, please. Why y'all be treating me like I'm not 38 years old? Please. Bye, y'all. See y'all later.